red-haired elf before, curly red hair, but that totally works in the universe. That's the cool thing about this universe. All right. Moving down the line, Sitnas.
Caucasian human.
Okay.
With white hair. Resting bitch face.
1 second. I need to type this all
You're
out.
supposed to be different from
Yes,
yourself.
it's supposed to be different from you.
Oh, come on.
Human, white hair. How are you dressed?
I'm wearing white headphones with cat ears.
Different.
Headphones.
I don't have that.
Do you want
Yeah.
them?
Here.
Yes.
Okay then.
Nice. All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
That's it. Just the headphones.
Full black with a fur hoodie collar. That's about it.
I'll be
Nice.
right
Okay.
back. Give me 1 second while you're getting Vin's thing.
Let's see. All right. Vince.
Okay, I'm gonna do human, Caucasian white. He's gonna have black, messy, stout hair with hazel eyes.
1 second. All right. Hair. Hazel eyes.
He's gonna have a stubbled beard that's growing in.
All right.
Average height. So what is that, like 5'8" for a man?
Yeah, 5'8" or so. Yeah.
So we'll just settle on 5'8". He's gonna have a green blazer with a light blue undershirt that is a button down.
Sorry. Could you repeat that? I can't type and listen at the same time.
Okay, so green blazer with a light blue undershirt button down and a dark tie.
All right.
And then he's going to be wearing white dress pants with brown Oxford style shoes.
Okay.
And that's it.
Great. All right. Also, I guess another important thing is, what are your guys' relative ages? So, early
All right, sorry, I'm
30s,
Welcome back.
Early 20s,
Mid-20s.
40s,
Mid-20s.
mid-20s, mid-20s.
Early 30s.
Early 30s.
Okay. Simple enough. And aging works very much the same as in our the world that we know, which is you get old, you die at the age of 80 or so. Maybe less so if certainly some of the goblinoid races are known to get caught up in violence a lot more, and so they're sort of expected to live shorter lives. But that's not a universal truth. And an orc who keeps a clean job and all that stuff will live just as long as a human or an elf or a dwarf. So, early 30s, mid 20s. Okay. Put this all into my web. My web of lies.
Your web of lies.
That's effectively what it is.
Web of lies and deceit.
Web of deception.
All right. So,
I just sit up all night watching crime dramas.
So there's about 200 people in this large, opulent VIP area with all this fancy food that I described. It's sort of darker lit than the rest of the venue, so while the rest of the entire stage and the dance floor is just there's like there isn't a shadow that exists on that area. There's so many lights. But in the VIP area, it's sort of dimly lit red. There's like black satin curtains along the periphery, and the most of the light that you guys are getting inside the VIP area is just sort of cast off from the stage and the dance floor below. So you can sort of like the light is coming from below, so you can see like the tops of people's faces better, and everyone looks sort of like dark and moody, even though everyone's obviously super excited to be there. But it has sort of like a, I don't know, almost like a noir feel. Think of noir lighting for what's happening up there. Sort of intentionally pretty fairly anonymous up there. Like there's so many people and the lighting's weird that it's hard but not impossible to notice other people and other faces. So those of you who are looking here to sort of make connections in the business world between the sound and the light, your plan sort of fell through, if that was your plan. If your plan was just to eat the best food you'll ever eat in your entire life and have a good time, then there's no shortage of that. So the VIP section starts to fill up, and it's fairly crowded up there, but it's still, you're not like bumping shoulders with people. There's 4 or 5 people around every round table having a nice chat, waiting for the concert to get started right now. Second. Someone messaged me. Someone messaged me.
Dun dun dun.
1 second. I will explain that all in context. So someone asked me a question, and I'll sort of explain that through me continuing. When you guys sort of came into the venue, there was these big friggin' troll security guards. They used metal detectors, all that fancy crap. There's pretty much no one in here has anything made of metal on them anymore. So what you have on you is things that are made of plastic or nothing else, or made out of plastic or cloth or whatever. Obviously, cybernetics and things like that, they sort of give a pass on, but they were very thorough about checking for concealed weapons within cybernetics, because there's a lot of people who can like dislodge their arm and a knife comes out or a gun comes out. So they were super careful. This is the type of security that, for those of you who might have experience with being in like secure areas, this place impressed even you. You have never seen security this thorough before. They have literally, like, people with cybernetic legs, they were looking up makes and models for cybernetic legs, and checking hidden compartments in those cybernetic legs as a security measure. No one in here has a knife, a gun, etc. Except for the security personnel who have been hired for the evening, which is none of you. Haha. Back to the VIP section. So it's fairly crowded here. There's like 4 or 5 people around, you know, like circular tables that are like standing circular tables, so that there's no chairs around here, because heaven forbid, chairs are for poor people. Rich people, all the rich people in the VIP section, or random lucky
Rich
people.
people sit on other people.
Yes. They have their manservants to sit on. No, so there's just like standing room tables. And depending, there's some bigger tables that are obviously set up for orcs and for trolls, because goblinoid, like, orcs are usually about 6 to 7 foot tall, and trolls are obviously can be like 9 foot or so, and are hugely broad-shouldered. So they sort of kept that in mind, and there's some some of the tables are larger than others, just to sort of accommodate conversation areas for them. There's sort of like the sound as you guys are dining in opulence or derving in opulence. There's sort of the sounds of a concert being set up happening from the stage below. There's screw guns going and bolts being riveted in and shit like that. Like, so it's fairly noisy, but it's pretty distant, so you can still you're not really being interrupted by the noise of what's happening. But there's definitely no music or anything. There's like light ambiance music that's happening in the VIP area, but it's not even coming close to drowning out the sounds of the stage being set up. And it's certainly not loud enough to interrupt conversations. But see, I don't know how much I do. Okay, so we are going to start role playing tonight, and it won't be on stream, and that kind of sucks for streamers or for the stream viewers. But they're gonna hop in at a later point in the story. So this will just be for us, but sort of oh well.
Big ol' fuck you to the streamers.
Big ol' fuck you. We can sort of give them the cliff notes, but I want to get started with like I don't want to like.
But
I don't want to not.
So many questions.
What questions?
About thing.
Okay. You can message me in TeamSpeak. So yeah. Where was I going? VIP section. So yeah, I don't want to. Obviously, it's not my goal to leave Twitch chat out of this. Like, this would be the point at which I would love to turn on a stream and everyone have a chance to broadcast this. But A, we didn't advertise it to anyone that was happening, so it would just be like a few random people, and that sort of sucks. And then the second thing is we don't have any of the logistics hammered out for who is going to be streaming or what. Obviously, we have. Well, Sitnas has unstable internet, so that sort of rules her out of being the person who's streaming it. But Dance and Vince both have pretty stable setups, and also I have a pretty stable setup. The only problem with me doing it is it's really hard to manage secrecy, typing, keeping notes, moving the story along, and also streaming. So I'm probably going to pass it off to either Dance or Vince. But yeah. But yeah, so it's going to be either Dance or Vince are going to be doing the streaming, and we'll figure out how that's all going to be set up later today, hopefully. First of all, before I move on too much further, how much longer do you guys have to be with me this evening or morning?
All the evening and morning.
Yeah.
Same.
Cool. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I didn't have to budget my time. All right.
I wrote
Let's
2
see.
pages today.
About the Amateur Friday, or is it Saturday? The thing that today was.
So we are going to start role playing, and as I said, not going to stop role playing tonight just for the sake of Twitch, because as much as I'd like to share things with Twitch, the main people who I'm doing this campaign for are you guys, and I want to keep that the priority. And even though you guys don't know each other yet, sort of, let's go through and describe what you guys are doing, and some keeping in mind that some of you may or may not have information going into this point. What are you guys doing?
I'm standing kind of at the edge of the VIP area. Obviously not by myself because it's crowded, but looking down towards the dance floor slash stage, whatever it is. But kind of off to the side, next to the railing.
Cool. Are you
Assuming there's railing.
just sort of staying out of the conversation that's happening around your table because they're doing like small talk, talking
Yeah,
about
it's
artists and things like that.
Staying around the away from the conversation. I'm not really interested in the music, but you know, there's nothing else really going on, so I'm kind of watching. I might have a small, you know, handful of snacks or food that I got.
Nice. You'll never. I can tell you right now, your character will never have another chance to eat food like this in their lives.
Large handful, then.
All right. Cool. Let's.
I don't want to be that guy that's just pigging out and stuffing his face and.
Oh, there's plenty of people who are doing that. So
Yeah,
there's,
but I'm
there's
not that guy.
Okay. There are, you notice there's probably like 20 or 30 people that are just sort of roaming around hunting, so the really good food is sort of scattered around these circular tables. There is a subsection of the people that are literally just going around and hunting for the best food and grabbing food and then leaving. God, son of a bitch, die. Okay.
Okay, I'll
That's
go
an
next.
overreaction.
This is like the third one I've managed to kill. I'm starting to go into Mr. Miyagi mode where I just grab them, but then unlike Mr. Miyagi, I don't release them. I just squish until their
You
coat's
should
dead.
you should catch them with chopsticks if you really want a challenge.
Yeah.
But then you
not
have to get
bad.
new chopsticks before you can eat again.
Oh,
Or
shit.
just don't give a fuck.
Just yeah.
Or just don't give.
No, it's
you
extra
soak the
protein.
Water, man. Yeah, protein. There we go. I clean and gut fish on the countertop that I use to knead my dough, so sort of past that. Nothing that a little Lysol spray won't solve. But either way, who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm kind of trying to keep to myself, just kind of I'm at a table with other people, but I am kind of keeping my eyes downcast, and my eyes are kind of going back and forth between the people I'm with and what's going on the stage. I'm not really eating with gusto. I'm more kind of picking at the food.
Okay. You're not having a conversation with anybody in the vicinity? Sort of keeping yourself.
I'm just chiming in to stay a part of the conversation, but I would say I'm more zoned out than really a part of it.
All right. And like this is the kind of place where you can mostly tell, like, sure, I'm having a conversation with, but I'll never meet these people ever again. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. One of those kinds of places.
Yeah.
All right. Who's next?
I'll go. I'm sitting on a big couch. Maybe you could fit maybe 10 people, but I'm giving everyone death stares, so I'm sitting alone.
Okay. So yeah, that's cool. So there's like there's these round tables closer to the balcony where the stage is, but like way off to the back wall, there's a whole bunch of red velvet couches with fancy like plush buttons and things like that, and genuine oak wood. Like you guys have probably never even felt what like real no, it's not even oak, it's rich mahogany. So you guys have never probably even seen this type of wood before. Most stuff is made out of, cement and plastic nowadays. So having like a genuine it's like nothing you've ever seen, but there's these nice velvety plush couches sitting against the back wall. And that area is a little bit better lit than other places as well. So the back wall is fairly well lit as opposed to the balcony near the stage. That's where the red light is coming from, actually. So, sorry, go ahead, Sitnus.
I don't know, I lost what I was thinking of.
You were sitting there staring at people?
Yeah, giving people death stares so no one came past me. Listening to my own music, not even worried about the concert. Sort of like I didn't want to be there.
Okay. So a couple of guys come up and flirt with you. Do you just sort of brush them off, or
I'll punch him in the face.
you literally punch him in the face?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
It's an
first
acceptable
up, campaign.
response.
So let's role play this then.
That means you have to get up though. You should kick him instead.
Oh yeah.
No, I'd say like maybe they lean down into my face and say something, and I don't hear it at all, but I know exactly what they're intending.
Okay. So yeah.
You don't get to dictate the NPC's actions.
So
No,
so
what I'm saying is like that.
okay. So let's do this. So let's see. A rather tall elf. Actually, he's pretty short for an elf. So he's only like maybe like 6 foot. Like on the dot. He comes up to you. He has a pink ponytail, an ear piercing. But he notices you off in the distance in the corner of the room, sort of sitting on that large, fluffy couch. And he decides he's gonna make his move. So he walks up to the couch. And he's like, so he pretty much, he doesn't even ask to join you. He just sort of plops himself down next to you, and he tries to subtly put his arm behind you. So what do you do?
Pretty much instant death stare to the side. And
So you
Go
death
on.
stare him, but he still puts his arm like around you. He's not touching your shoulders, but it's like on the couch behind you, that kind of thing. So like hover handing it, but still trying to move in for it. And he leans in closer. There's a little bit of noise happening around you. There's like the muttering of conversations. So he leans in closer, so only you hear this. But he's like, "Hey baby, you want to take this party to another room?"
instant punch in the face.
Instant punch to the face. You sock the dude square in the face, and he has a really bloody nose. He's like, "What the hell, man? Getting security." He runs off. A few minutes later, he comes back with one of those hulking troll security guards, super intimidating. But he notices you, and he knows who you are, and he's like, like as soon as he clicks, like in his head he clicks, he's like, "Oh, yeah, I know who you are." He's like, and then he turns back and looks at this guy and like stares him down. The dude immediately starts shaking. He's like, "What the fuck, man?" And the troll guard leads into you. He's like, "Is this man causing you trouble? You want us to throw him out?"
Serious slow nod.
He nods in return. Grabs the guy by like his collar and lifts him. The dude starts flailing around and like causing a scene. People notice, but they're more enjoying. They're too busy enjoying this evening to really give him too much mind or care. But he's like sort of like crying out of his nose kind of thing. He's like slobbering.
That's gross.
He's
Niffling.
hysterical. But a lot of people notice. A lot of people, whether or not they stop what they're doing to notice it, they at least notice this sort of event that's happening in an otherwise uneventful area. The dude's like just screaming like, "What the fuck, man? What the fuck? I got a ticket, man!" But he's getting carried out by his collar, and he is shown the door summarily.
After seeing all this, I go sit on the couch next to Sitnas and put my arm around her.
Oh no.
Please tell me you're trolling.
I am trolling.
Okay. But yeah.
I thought it
So
would have been funny to see you try and kick out when I'm one of the main characters.
a lot of the people in the area, at least now, recognize her by face and know that she is not to be fucked with, and she
Fuck yeah.
obviously has connections with the security force.
Aria.
So any of you, any of the player characters, so Vince, Matt, Dance, any of you guys could have noticed that if you want your character to have noticed that. But yeah.
My turn.
1 second, I need to type something. So yeah. The
So me now, right?
Yeah, Vince, what are you doing?
So I did notice the debacle, but it doesn't really bother my character so much. He's going to be at, if they have a standard bar or an island bar, he's going to be at that.
Okay. Yep.
And he will probably be picking at peanuts, which I assume are authentic and not soy.
Yes, there's legit peanuts there. Peanuts are a little bit more common, but still having like roasted salted peanuts instead of soybeans is pretty rare.
Okay, and I'll be doing their finest dark German ale.
Nice. Yep,
Uh,
they actually went through the trouble. So shipping is a little weird in this crazy mixed up universe. So getting imported things is very difficult, and they have imported liquor, beer, etc. from across the world. Like all the fanciest shit is here. You name it, they got it.
All right, and in addition to that, I will probably be mingling with people at the bar who are also up there, and being a little flirtatious with women around me, but keeping it classy.
Okay. Okay. Um. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Like, as I said, I'm breaking new ground here. So what I do and do not tell you guys is sort of I'm figuring that out as I go along. Um. Hmm. There's stuff that's specific to characters that would be cool if I could just say instead of doing secret chats, but I don't. I want to avoid the metagaming. And these are the kinds of things that would be cool for you to discover later, rather than right now just having me hand it to you. Hmm. Okay. Um. So yeah, the bar, by the way, is sort of so. There's the couches against the back wall of this balcony area, but along the sides, each of the sides, there's a pretty long bar, and again, the splendors of opulence. So oh sorry. Oh man, that's a bad thing about not having push to talk. Is when I swallow my own spit and cough that you guys can hear that. So right now, your relative positions. Let me sort of draw this out here. So, man, this is easier to do if we had. I might have us do. Second, let me pull out my old Shadowrun folder. Roll 20, just to sort of draw out maps, so you guys have a better idea of what's going on, because spoken
Yay, roll
explanations
20.
are a lot more difficult than actually seeing it. So let's do let's get Roll20 set up. Do you guys, if you don't have a Roll20 account, make one.
Then you're a scrub.
Then you're a scrub. But there it is, roll20.net. And I'm going to create a new group. And it is going to be what I see. And there's still things I haven't decided yet, like what the name of the campaign is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be play on the movie, on the name Clue, like hint, something dumb like that, or if it's
Does
going
it
to be
really matter what it's called?
It doesn't really matter. Or whether I want it to have like a film noir type name. Here we go. There's the name. Oh my god,
I just went to log in, and I have an account from before I used to call myself Sitnas.
Oh man. See, I came up with this, or I got the screen name, Czar, like the age of 12. So, I can't even remember a time. Like, the only time where I ever had a screen name that wasn't Czar was like internet things. So, like N64 names. So, like, if I was playing a character in Perfect Dark, I would name the character Dr. Death or Professor Death or something stupid like that.
That still sounds like something you would do.
Sounds like something I would do, but now I'm just Czar. It's funny that I was always fixated with professor and doctor, and I want to be a professor now, so. GG. Some things never change. Let's see, how do I invite people to this?
What did you name it?
Music and Madness. Do you guys know how I add people to a campaign? Where do I find that? Alright.
I don't have time for this. You need to know what you're doing beforehand, Czar.
Ooh. About that.
I have plenty of things that I could be doing right now, like mowing the lawn at 9:50 at night.
Or being bad at Overwatch. Heyo!
Actually, I've been playing Evolved a lot lately.
Nice.
So if anybody wants to come shoot monsters or be a monster, let me know.
See, I would do that, but I would want to play Dead by Daylight instead.
I didn't like Dead by Daylight that much.
They should have made that track like longer than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Just saying. Alright, open up campaign. Invite players to the right. Not under chat. Okay. Games.
How do
Where
you
does it
not
say
know how to do
creative?
this? You invited us to the Shadow Dance campaign.
It's been like a year. Hmm. Wait. So I'm under my games. Then I see the thing where it says either join game or creator. Ah, okay. Then join game or where? Let's see. Invite players on the right. Oh, hey, invite players on the right. Holy shit! I was looking at like the things beneath the title of it, and it was confusing me.
I thought you were gonna say the left.
Wow. Here, share link. Ah, here we go. We did it, Reddit. Thank you for that. I'm blind sometimes. Oh, it's getting hot in my apartment. Please, let me know if the fan starts blowing into the mic.
What are you considering hot? Because it's like 98 degrees here, and it's
Like
10 o'clock at night.
yeah, it's like 90 degrees in my apartment right now, and that's uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
Worse is that it's getting muggy outside because it's gonna rain tomorrow. Alright, so let's see. Join game then. You guys have the share link.
Well, everybody except you is in the game. There we go.
Alright, so I can draw things now. Freehand. Wait, no, draw shape. It's gonna be pink. And have black. Having fun there?
I don't know what you're talking about. Literally not even me. Okay, good. That still works.
Dang it. Okay. And I don't know what image you guys had in your minds for how this looked, but here is how it looks.
Where's the stage? Is this the stage? Or is this whole thing the place that we are at?
The pink is the stage and the dance area.
Then I'd be somewhere along the railing here.
Wait, I don't even know where you pinged. Okay.
Where are the couches?
The couches are in the back wall. Label those.
Okay.
I'll do shapes. I'll choose red because those are red couches. And there's sort of red couches sort of lined up sporadically.
Velour.
Velour. There's only like 5 or so couches on this back wall, and one of them is entirely hogged by Sitnas right now.
It's this big one.
You know it.
Yep, the big one in the center.
I've got this whole Arya to Loke image in my head from like Omega and Mass Effect 2.
I don't know who that is. Wait,
No,
Did you ever
neither.
play Mass Effect 2?
it's been years.
Okay. Do you remember Omega?
Mega Mass Effect 2.
The big blue lady that's sitting on the couches at the top
Oh,
of Omega?
yeah,
And
yeah,
you
yeah,
go
yeah.
up there and she's all by herself and the
I
guards
forgot
are
about
watching
that.
over.
Isn't that one?
It's pretty on point.
Yeah, isn't that like? No. I'm getting mixed up between the crazy, seductive, psycho daughter of the one character.
Yeah, that's not Arya.
Yeah, Arya was Arya to Sony.
Arya to Loke.
Loke. Okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
found a
sort of like
picture.
You might not want to look too far into those pictures.
No, I would.
that.
Yeah. Each their own.
All right. So Zitnas is by the couches. Matt is by the balcony. Vince is by the bar. Where are you? You're in the couches as well, Dance?
No, I'm standing at a table.
Okay. You're at one of the tables. Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
Tables.
Yeah, that
Shape.
almost immediately popped in my head.
And yeah. Wait, I don't want to do that. Yeah, Control Z. We'll do black for this as well. Oh. Such circles.
Such circles.
There's literally
Those
a
are
circle
beautiful.
tool.
There is? Where?
Oh my god.
When you click draw shape,
Yeah.
fuck, where is it? I remember using it
Hold
before.
Hold Alt
Goddamn
rectangle.
for
it!
circle or ellipse.
Hold Alt for. Okay.
There you go.
Oh no, I can't undo the. Oh wait, 1 second.
Wow.
1 second. We're gonna do this, Reddit. We're gonna have high production quality. Like my first 2 circles were okay. After that, it became such circles. I also have a Shadowrun book covering most of my mousepad right now. All right. Get rid of that ugly red circle in the middle of my shit.
I'm gonna grab a drink, BRB.
All right.
I'm gonna use
Fix
that
the red
console.
circles.
Yeah, if you want to take a break, now is the time.
Can you drag images from here and put them here? No.
Oh, right. We did it, Reddit. Cool. All right, I'm going to take a break as well, actually.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry to deal with the Monty situation.
Oh, good.
I'm eating something very crunchy, so I'm gonna have my mic muted for just a second. What the fuck is
Okay.
with these circles?
You left us to our own supervision. That's what's happening.
Do you ping just by clicking?
You just hold click, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna unmute my mic before I start talking again. Alright. Get in the hang of this.
Mike's muted.
Ooh, fuck you. Alright.
Ooh, not nice.
Ooh. Sad map. Alright, so where were we? So we established where everyone was and some of the things that were going on. Vince is mingling at a bar. Sitnos is being imposing and magnificent on the couch in the center. The Matt is scoping out the place from the balcony, sort of keeping himself at the edge of the conversation. And Dance is mingling at the tables, sort of making polite conversation with people, but all in all, avoiding contact with folks. Or in general, avoiding contact with folks, right?
Yeah, not getting into too deep. Just trying to keep everything very shallow.
Gotcha. Cool. So
Either your mic's muted again or you stop talking.
did what?
It's not
That was
muted.
just a long pause.
I was thinking. I swear. I do that sometimes. Thinking.
Seems questionable to me.
Vince, you're back, right? Alright, there's a lady in a red dress who is, oh yeah,
Could I
Let's see.
persuade some hacker to give me time with her alone?
so she's, a human, Asian woman, probably 5'6", long black hair, long red dress, no, it's sort of like split along the leg, but in like that classy, so it's like halfway up the thigh where it's split. One of those. But she has she has been rather flattered by your flirtation. And so see, and unfortunately I can't do this. I can't be equal for genders because it's very weird to actually get into the conversation role play of being an attractive Asian woman. Unless
I
you,
believe in
if you
you.
really
You can
want me
totally
to, I
do it.
will do it.
You
Only
can
if you want me to, though.
I want you to, because to me, it would be hilarious.
Oh, okay. So, let's see. What kind of compliments have you been paying this woman? So, I guess you can go through and role play that out right now.
Okay, give me 1 second. I had to
Alright.
actually think about pickup lines that I actually tend to use.
Wow.
All right.
Oh boy.
A real gentleman would have these at the ready.
Uh, Oh,
I guess I'll talk a little bit more about her while I'm at it. She looks to be in her early 20s. She's wearing some nice earrings that may or may not be genuine diamonds. You're not quite sure.
What color eyes does she have?
Brown.
Darn.
Plain
She's
old.
full of shit.
She's Asian. She's got brown eyes. That's our curse.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yep. Like, if you have blue eyes and you go to an Asian country, they look at you like you're an alien. Because it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in Asian people. Dominant trait, brown eyes. Everyone fucking has them. Either way. But she has, so, she does have brown eyes, but they're silhouetted very nicely in this sort of dimly lit area. She has pretty soft features on her face. She's very pretty. Fairly round nose. Fairly thin lips. Yep. She's Asian.
Does she have the best nails in the entire place?
They are painted.
It's a pickup line. Do you care?
They are painted red to match her dress. She's also wearing a very distinctive, it's like a really dark red tone, which is a little bit darker than her dress for her lipstick.
Okay. And how are we doing this? Am I just saying it, and then you're gonna react as the girl, or?
Yeah, let's do that. So she's just sort of sitting at the bar. She's sipping on a vodka tonic with ice. She's sort of staring off into the bar. So she's like doing the classic bar thing, just staring into the bar when you take the seat next to hers.
Okay, so I'm gonna play it as so I come up to the bar, I casually sit down beside her, and I order myself up another dark Belgian ale. I'm gonna look over to see, is her drink almost out? Does she need another one?
So when you sit down, she sort of pays you a glance and she notices you. Sort of like a sly glance, but you notice it. And it doesn't look like she's disinterested, but she's maintaining her focus on the bar in front of her. Her drink is almost empty. Of course it is. Of course it's always almost.
Always.
Of course.
Because she's an alcoholic.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead to the barkeep. Can we get another round for this beautiful lady here in the red dress?
She pays you a deeper glance this time. She gives you like a small smile out of like the corner of her mouth, like sort of sly like, and she's like, "Oh, thanks, hon."
Sorry,
This
I'm
would
laughing.
be better with webcams, by the way.
It would be so good.
Oh god.
Do we want to get into a Skype call just for webcams right now?
No, because I have to get my
Not right
full
now.
webcam out of the closet.
Okay.
Why
Next
is it in the
time.
And
closet?
put on clothes.
Plan on that for next week. I'm actually wearing clothes right now. I just took my socks off, but other than that, I'm clothed.
Ooh.
Ooh, naughty.
I got out of the
Scandalous.
shower before we started.
I
so-
still remember that cooking stream when that person asked me to show him my feet on stream. I was just like, what? No, no, I'm cooking right now. I actually showed him my socked feet. And he's like, oh,
Yeah, you
such a
did.
tease. I was like, cool,
Well, you are.
I am. God. Weird. The internet is a dark and scary place.
Yes,
I'm
it
still
is.
sending you some ridiculous apron at some point.
Okay, sounds good. I'll continue streaming eventually. It's just I've sort of been I legitimately burnt myself out in June. Like I made it sort of like a chore for myself towards the end. I was like, okay, I gotta do it. I said I would, so I'll pick it up eventually. But so yeah, so she says thanks, hon, and gives you a sly little smile.
Okay, let me continue. So, I'm gonna have a talk with all the other gentlemen here in this facility tonight. Seeing how we've already got one carried out, and you're wearing the most beautiful dress in here, if not the most strikingly visual. So, I'm surprised that tons of men haven't flocked over here to harass you yet.
She blushes and just tries to hide her face a little bit when she does that. And she,
Much like Star is doing now.
Yes.
You wear the dress well, Czar.
Oh, thank you.
You
Thank
fill
you,
it out
babe.
nice.
Thanks, babe. All right.
Oh my god.
She so she blushes and turns her face away a little bit, and she says, "I'll bet you say that to all the pretty ladies around here." By the way, I've never been a woman in a red dress at a bar, so this is
Yeah.
completely out of context for me. So I tell me if I'm being dumb.
Clearly,
It's good practice for real life.
Okay.
yeah.
Next time I'm a woman in a bar, I will
Prepared.
take this experience. Yes.
Okay, so what's the last thing you said? You say that to all the women?
I bet you say that to all the pretty ladies around here.
And I retort very coolly, just the one.
Oh.
Bam!
Oh.
Typical.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
And
Predicted.
The women are unimpressed.
so she blushes a little bit more heavily now, and her face is actually like she's like turning her face downwards now to try to hide it. She gives you another little smile, and she says, oh.
Come on, Czar,
How
I
does
believe
she
in you.
react?
Quick, Dance, what does she say?
I don't know, Dance, what does she say?
Shoot me
Well,
down.
at this point,
Well,
I would have said, unless you look like Chris
Sitnos,
Pine,
you're too
walk
mean.
away.
You don't get a say.
No, this
I did
this
just
girl
say something mean.
this girl is looking for some action though. So
Yeah, she wants to be on white on rice and a paper plate in a snowstorm.
She's thirsty.
So I guess she says so she continues to smile, blush even harder, and she says, "Oh, thanks." And you guys, I kind of want to skip through this section. So you guys have like a brief conversation, like, "Hey, what do you do?" She's an accountant at some corporate job. She's effectively a wage slave, which is a common term for someone who has a very consistent, hard-working desk job and doesn't make much money and will never go anywhere in their life. But she's sort of
wow, harsh.
that's what most people are in this universe. If you're not a Shadowrunner, or if you don't own a small business, or you're not an entrepreneur
If you're
of some
not
kind,
doing something illegal or part of a large corporation, you're screwed.
I
yes,
see.
which is why some of you may or may not be having financial problems.
Gotcha.
Just a yes or no, Czar.
What?
Just a yes or no to that whisper.
Oh, 1 second. Sure, man. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I would have told her my name.
Okay, so so you guys talk about your careers, and she's not too interested in talking about careers, but she
Well, a gentleman
you
would
tell
show
her
more
that
interest in
you'll-
her.
what?
A gentleman would show more interest in her than himself.
Gotcha. So she like you ask her what her career is, but she just sort of like blandly responds like, I don't like talking about it. I work as an accountant for Ares Technologies. That's not who I am.
Accountants.
I guess I'll. That is the line coming from her that I'm saying to you, and then, she's like, and then she says, "But what do you do, Han?"
You know the security line of work.
Oh, security. You work in here by any chance?
No, not for this venue. More higher up stuff.
Oh. She's super interested now. She sort of she shuffles her stool a little closer to you, and she says, "What kind of higher up stuff?" Or are you real hush hush about it?
I'm going to respond with, sorry, doll, but loose lips sink ships.
She gives a sensible chuckle. And she gives another little sly smile at you, and she says, "You know, I heard there's some private rooms down the hallway. You wanted to go check those out." What do you say? This, I don't know. I've literally
That's
never
like
been
so
in this situation
direct.
in my life. So direct.
Sounds a
no,
whore.
okay.
I mean, if she's saying that, how loose is she?
I personally, not this lady, but I specifically am a hoe bag. So I don't know.
This
She's
is a
like,
very loose lady.
yeah, I guess. So she's like, so I heard there's some amazing sites in the rest of this mansion that are open to the VIPs if you want to go check it out. I hear the herbarium is to die for.
I have a question for the DM real fast.
Sure.
Plastic is allowed. Did I bring plastic?
Whatever plastic you want. Anything that is not made of metal has not been touched or confiscated.
This
Unless
could
it's
be
like
going
a dangerous,
totally different
jagged
direction.
Yup.
piece of plastic. If you have any air quotes rubber, it has not been confiscated.
Wow.
Yep, we're going there.
Not
First
things made of
session.
wood.
Things made of wood are rare but have not been confiscated.
Okay.
Unless it was a dangerous object. If it was like a baseball bat. Not that a genuine baseball bat is a common occurrence anymore.
Okay, so what is a rarity then in this time?
In this universe, things that are made out of organic materials are generally less common.
Okay.
So things that are synthetic, plastics, faux wood,
Typically,
metals, rocks are common.
typically the only people that you would commonly see with wood and stuff like that are gonna be herbalists or shamans or something of that nature,
Or rich people.
or very rich people.
So you might have a shaman who has like a walking stick made of genuine wood, but generally it's not common. But yeah, any large things that could be used as blunt force objects have been confiscated at the door. Unless you have like a signed medical voucher saying you need this crutch or whatever. But yep.
Just give me 1 second, because I'm looking at, because we didn't really do anything character like development beforehand, so I'm looking at my character flaws real quick to see which one I want to use, because that'll determine what I do right now.
Okay.
Yeah, this is kind of why I wanted to go into character creation a little bit more.
Yeah, and we can do that more in the week to come. I just sort of want to jump right into it and sort of flush things out through this first session, because this is sort of like the preamble to the main scenario.
You see my whispers are?
Ooh, no, I didn't.
Ooh, you remember that thing that we told you to get for WoW that makes a bing every time that somebody says something to you?
Ooh, it gave me the noise, but I glanced down and then glanced back up at other things. Alright. So okay, we're waiting on this.
So I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'm gonna go with her to said room and just disappear for a while.
Okay.
In character, not out of character.
Okay. So you guys sort of tour around. There's like a hallway leading out. Here, 1 second. Let me draw this in the map. Haha, the map.
The map.
Find the map, find the map, find the map, find the map.
So right next to Sitnas's couch, there's a hallway that sort of leads back, and the rest of the manor is accessible through that hallway from the balcony. There's like some stairs down.
So the where this concert is being held, just to be clear, it's at his house.
It's at his house. It's a giant fucking
Yeah.
mansion. Yep.
That's what I thought.
There's some stairs downwards. Stairs. And that leads into the rest of the mansion. And again, the rest of this mansion that you're seeing now is unlike anything you've ever seen before. It is grotesque, the amount of money that has been poured into this. Like, as you step on panels in the floor, they're lighting up.
I'm playing Simon Says in the corner now.
As you approach doors, there's like a robotic voice that asks for your pass, and if it's a door that you're not allowed to access, it says access denied. And then
So
it
you
will like
speak the password, or?
no, you have like
you
you
have
have
your
a physical
pass,
ticket.
stage pass.
Oh, I see.
You have like a VIP ticket. So you'll wave your VIP ticket and it'll say access denied. Here are available rooms, and then it'll show you like a map of where you can actually go in the mansion and which doors are off limits.
But they're glass, so you can see through them.
You can
What's
see
on the
through
other
the
side?
doors, but they're some of the doors are sort of that
Opaque.
opaque glass. Yeah, they're
Okay.
like the
Frosted.
It's the
Yeah,
it's the
frosted,
cool
there we go.
glass that's like regular glass, and then you turn the lock and it changes. It has the electrical deal that runs through it and
Yeah.
changes it all opaque and shit.
Yep, that is exactly what's happening for actually every single door you approach. Like, as you scan your VIP pass, if if the door opens, the glass also turns clear as the door is opening. But yeah, so you and the pretty lady in the red dress sort of meander the hallways a bit. Even though there's very few guests, you maybe come across 5 or 6 other guests that are doing the same thing as you. More than the guests, you see the security guards. So there's again a lot of troll security guards, but there's also some orc and human security guards as well. But most of the security guards towards the dance floor and the VIP sections are all trolls, just to, be awesome bouncers and stuff. But you start seeing a more diverse crew. You see some of the wait staff shuffling in between the kitchen and the guest areas, things like that. And other people are seeing this too, but they're only seeing this from the VIP section. So they're seeing like the wait staff coming in and going with new food and new drink. But Vince sort of gets to see like the lead into the kitchen area. But obviously he doesn't have access to that area. And if he ever approaches that area, the guards would be like, "Hey, fuck off." So there's like 2 guards standing at the kitchen doors, making sure guests don't wander up. But yeah, you guys wander towards the herbarium, which is this botanical garden. There's the giant greenhouse, which looks very ominous with the night sky. So there's a greenhouse above, but it's pretty much just black glass at this point. Can't see through it. Hanging, there's like hanging palm plants and all sorts of things that you've never seen before, because the city, you don't really get to experience that. Plants that you don't even know the names of, much less have ever seen before. Couple of rare-looking orchids that are behind a glass display case. They're like labeled as such, like this is the Viridian orchid, native only to Central America, the only of its kind known to exist in North America. So it's super classy, and the lady is super enamored, and I don't know if we want to continue with that
Nope.
conversation. We know where it's going.
We know where it's going.
You guys find a dark. There's no one else in the herbarium right now. There was some guests leaving as you were entering, but there's no one else in there, and you guys find a nice, dark, quiet corner of the herbarium, and you have fun times.
Wow, chicka wow wow.
All right. So, and I guess neither of you were really interested in the music, so you guys spend most of the evening there. As we move back in our mind's eye to the VIP balcony, we leave Vince alone with his pretty Asian lady.
Poor.
Zarn away.
Hey, she's a classy lady, friend. No.
Apparently not.
I didn't even buy her
Apparently
dinner.
not. Nope. Why would nothing you bought her would ever compare to the food she was already
free
eating
drink.
there?
Yep.
True.
You'd buy her like a soy burger, and she'd be like, "Oh, that's cute." I had shrimp yesterday, real shrimp. But yeah.
And your relationship goes downhill from there because you'll never match up to those standards.
Nope. Why don't you own a luxury mansion on the top of a hill? So yeah. We move our mind's eye back towards the VIP balcony area where the other three characters are meandering.
Can I have a quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
What is the currency? Is it dollars?
It's Nyen, Nyen, but it operates very similarly to dollars, other than the fact that there's no
It's like Japanese money in that a whole shit ton of it doesn't mean much.
Yeah, and
Okay.
To give you an example, let's see, let's see. A normal Hyundai car would cost you about 28,000 new yen. So it's very similar in amounts to dollars. They didn't bother to fuck with our idea of currency as Americans. So even though it's called new yen, it fundamentally the values are similar to dollar amounts. Just some things will be more expensive, obviously, in this universe. So if you wanted to buy food that isn't made of soy, instead of costing you $5, it would cost you, $50 to $100.
$5 billion.
If you wanted a genuine cup of coffee instead of soy cafe, you would be spending, $30+ for a cup instead of $2 to $5 for a cup.
And the reason organic material is scarce is because of the volcano, or just
So
because
with
we-
the arrival of magic, a lot of the agricultural industry just fucking fell apart.
okay.
A large amount of America was overtaken again by the Native American nation. Well, not really. It was more overtaken by nature, and then it became the territory of the Native American nations. Because Native Americans were so spiritual,
Shamans is strong, yo.
they became essentially the power force of the Americas again. Same goes for Central America. The native Aztecs became the power force of Central America because they were more in tune with magics, and magics became a very profitable and powerful enterprise. So really, the America as you know it is now divided into a few smaller nations. There's one on the East Coast and then two on the West Coast, and you guys are in the West Coast. So you guys are in the old California area, but it is one of the few, what we would say air quotes, Western areas. But going into the wilds and going into the Native American territory is super, you need to have political connections to do it safely. Or connections in general with other people. So it's farming area and what crops grow in this new magical world are very limited. Or very different. So they grow the cheapest, most I guess productive crop to feed the huddled masses on the West Coast, which is soy. So that's sort of why things that aren't soy are more expensive. Things that aren't made of soy or plastic are more expensive. So if you want a rich mahogany couch like our the homeowner of this place, the DJ, has, then he would have to have connections to like royalty in South America that are willing to export the wood. Like that's how intense things like that get. He does because he's a world-renowned DJ. But yeah. So we're back on the balcony, and we're at the point of the night where one of the warm-up bands is starting to do like sound checks on the stage. Are any of you guys doing anything else you care to make note of?
Chilling.
Chillin'? Matt, Dance?
You said that we were the first group to arrive, the VIPs. When do the other
Yeah, so while
people start coming?
the warm-up band is starting to do their sound checks, and guests are starting to filter into the dance floor area as well.
Okay.
It's like, I'd say like a third full. By the time the concert is underway, it's going to be packed, you can tell. When you came up in the VIP section, so you had like the VIP fast pass, there was like a separate line for you, the security guards checked you right in. There was like a crowd on the street lined up just in droves behind, and you could tell that like half of them were going to get in. So I'd say there's probably like 200 or 300 people on the dance floor right now, and they're sort of trying to smush this. They're doing the classic concert thing of trying to smush as close to the stage as possible.
Okay. Well, then I would say I'm probably shifting more toward a table that is that has more of a view of the stage.
All right, so you're yeah, a lot of the VIP people. So the people that were in the back of the room here are starting to shift towards the balcony with you, and the balcony is rather crowded, but it's there's plenty of room for you, but you're going to be sort of smushed shoulder to shoulder with other people for sure.
Right.
Like there's people leaning sideways to have a place to lean on the railing.
As the rail gets more and more crowded, since I'm not that interested in the music, I kind of step back to one of the empty tables, or if one of the other couches is empty, and find a place to hang out where it's not as crowded.
Okay. Yeah, there's plenty of big tables in the back for a troll of your size to not be imposing size-wise that are currently almost empty. There's maybe 1 or 2 people hanging around there. The rest of like I'd say there's like maybe 40 or 50 people between the bars and the back couches and the back tables. Most everyone else from the VIP area is crowding around the balcony.
Okay. I pretty much just go to one of those tables that have the least amount of people at it.
Okay. There is a table where you can be alone if you want.
Sure, I'll go to that table.
There you go. You're now sitting alone with that table has all the same the red satin cloth, but it's now stained with various beverages and half-eaten hors d'oeuvres. There is a couple of fresh glasses of champagne there if you'd like to indulge. There's also a fresh tray of shrimp there. I don't know why I'm so fixated on shrimp, but
Do the bartenders, like, obviously there's bartenders that stay at the bar, but are they bussing drinks at all?
There's like wait staff clearing the tables. But yeah.
Okay, I kind of signal one of the waiters and ask for just a whiskey on the rocks.
All right. A pretty short Caucasian man with short brown hair. He nods and he says, "Right away, sir." And he finishes bussing the table you're at. He carries away some of the empty glasses and food plates, and he heads back to the bar and grabs your drink. The bartender pours it out. He brings it back to you. Like, here you are, good sir.
I nod my thanks without really paying him too much attention, and kind of slowly sip it while looking around the room, just watching, seeing what's going on.
He sort of looks at you eagerly for a second, like expecting to get tipped for the service, but then he moves on when he notices that you sort of just ignored him.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. This is also, you make note that this is one of the few times that a human has ever been quite so formal and polite with you. Nats, please. But yeah, you're not used to being treated like a VIP. Say that.
Yeah.
Especially not by wait staff. But yeah. So Dance, you moved towards the balcony.
Mm-hmm.
You're waiting for the venue to get started, and Sitting as you're still chilling on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the concert is getting underway. The dance floor is now filled up, so that giant rectangular room is now packed shoulder to shoulder with people. I mean, you can estimate that there's probably more than 1,000 people down there. It's packed to the gills. And they're all, the warm-up band has done a pretty good job. People are bouncing to the music like the kids do these days.
Them kids
And their dances. The warm-up band was like a trio of elves and 2 girls and a guy, and they had sort of like a weird smooth jazz techno mix that a lot of people couldn't quite make out who it was supposed to appeal to, but it still had a good beat, so people were bouncing on the dance floor. A couple more warm-up bands go through. It's very clear that this is meant to be sort of like inclusive to metahuman, like all of metahumanity, because there's a lot of these bands probably couldn't get a venue at your standard nightclub or things like that, just because a lot of them are pretty biased towards non-human performers, unless you have a serious name for yourself. And so a lot of these are like smaller names, which you've only ever heard mention of, but haven't actually heard their tracks unless you're really into the scene. You might not have ever even heard of them if you're not into the music scene. But I'd say like 3 bands go through. There's one with like an eclectic cast, like that has a representative from every sector of metahumanity. There's like an elf, a dwarf, a human, and there's sort of like a kumbaya kind of rap song, like better together kind of thing. Then a trio of dwarves come out, and they're a little more on the metal side, but still pretty electronic. They have like black spiky hair and a giant mohawk, and they're wearing more metal studs than you can count reasonably. And after that band finishes up, the dwarven band, there's sort of like a silence that sweeps over the place, and the host comes on the microphone. He's like, "Yo, yo, yo, how you guys feeling tonight?" And everyone fucking rages, of course. Like, all right, so thanks to all the warm-up bands, I have to come up with band names. Fuck, why do I improv myself into this corner?
Why do I write this shit?
How do I write? Why do I write this shit? Yeah.
Clearly, you should have just started naming actual band names.
Should have.
Yeah.
I'm trying to come up with puns based around metahumanity for real bands, but I can't be bothered.
Yeah, like you could do that on the spot.
Yes, like I'm an actual improviser or something. Huh. No. Maybe if I was like a Who's Line star, that would be easy for me. Anyways, he says the band name. He's like, so thank you to the Electric Pointies, the Beige Sabbath. I don't know. And the
Make a
Rainbow
Nirvana
Coalition.
pun.
I don't know.
Oh, you suck.
The what? What were you gonna
I
say?
said make a Nirvana pun.
What? Nope.
Trovana.
Trovana. And yeah, there we go. Trovana. And thanks to Trovana, your wonderful performances tonight. Let them know how you feel. And all of a sudden, everyone fucking erupts. Yeah, they fucking rock. Yeah.
Let's get lit.
Let's get lit. Another sort of side note. There's like one small bar connected to the dance floor, and that's like it for them. So you guys really have the high life up there. So most of the people down there are just here to see the concert and dance.
Filthy peasants.
Filthy peasants. But yeah, he's like, all right. We'll have the main show coming out in about 20 minutes. Until then, enjoy this sweet, dope-ass highlight reel that led up to this concert. And a giant projector screen comes down in front of the stage and blocks off the stage from view. And like a movie, like a clip show movie comes on, like heroic music and how DJ Blackhorn struggled from being a nobody in the hood to being like the #1 name in electronic music. All the people he has to thank for where he is today, and all that nonsense. Yes. Yo, I'm gonna let you finish, but no. It's like it's one of those kind of things, like a behind the music kind of thing, but made by him for his fans. So it's like super biased, painting like this glorious picture. It's like, oh, and
So like Kanye.
my humanitarian efforts, trying to bring education to the people of the streets, like that kind of thing. Go ahead, Vince.
So yes, like Kanye.
Yeah,
like
exactly
Kanye.
like Kanye.
He's like Kanye, except he's actually a decent person. Like you can tell from the video, like he actually cares. Like there's like slideshows of him like volunteering at a troubled youth school in the slums.
So like Bono?
He's like Bono mixed with Kanye, yes. Like he's 100% full of himself. You can tell he's full of himself, but he's actually doing good. Whether or not the good that he's doing counterweighs his huge fucking ego is yet to be determined, or is up to you to determine. But yeah. So he's like it's like a 20-minute video of like his humanitarian efforts, sort of his rise to fame and renown. They're sort of like intersplicing some of his biggest hits into the score of the music. And people are going nuts whenever one of his songs come on. One of the people that's prominently featured throughout this is his partner in crime, his manager, his lifelong friend. It's an orcish dude, and I'll come up with his name right now.
Timothy.
Brock Montgomery. He's a white orcish dude, and he was the founder of this. I need to write down names. God damn it. Players are circles. Oh my god. So I don't forget names. Okay, so Brock Montgomery is like a pretty, like, I'd say he gets like a quarter of the airtime of this this documentary thing, he recognized the talent that Blackhorn had, and he gave him his first shot with a small record deal. Record deal, air quotes, in the digital age, but yeah. He did a lot of promotion for his first few events, and he's sort of been overseeing a lot of his humanitarian things as well, and he's responsible a lot for the business side. So he's the businessman behind the artiste that is the DJ Blackhorn. But yeah. I guess, what are your guys' reactions to this? Are you paying any attention to it, or what?
I'm not really paying much attention to it. Kind of just sipping the whiskey.
The sort of background noise.
Yeah.
I'm eating it up with a spoon.
Nice. Like biting your
I'm
lip.
just listening in.
Yeah, just totally into it. Like, no one else exists except me and whatever this story is that's going on.
And Vince, you are never mind. Let's
Yup.
see.
We know what Vince is.
No, he's done and back already.
No. He's busy. That woman has not been satiated. All right.
It doesn't matter.
The only thing you might notice, Vince, is that any people that were meandering around either the herbarium or the hallways around it have completely left. You are like the only one left in the periphery of the manor. Alone with this woman. Anyways, moving on.
Sullen winch.
Air quotes alone. But yeah, so so you're sort of only like half paying attention. Like you probably already have you already seen this video?
Yep.
Okay, so this is old hat for you. Like you're already familiar with everything that's taken place here. Like
Yep.
all right, you're just sort of chilling, nodding your head when something notable is mentioned. Let's see. So after that, there's like a hurl crescendo. He's like, the DJ Blackhorn is talking. He only talks through he's like one of those strange artists who usually doesn't talk through his own voice. He prefers to speak through his music. So, there's like a track playing and like lines going across the screen, like a message from DJ Blackhorn himself. Like, my lifelong career, my path, my struggle has all been leading up to one moment, this moment, and like there's this awesome like orchestral electronic score leading up to this like a helicopter shot of the venue and the lights flashing out, and like the people are like, oh, there I am sitting in the line leading up to here, and then there's like the on the screen is like so like the camera zooms in on the mansion, and then it like jump cuts to a video feed from the venue hall where you guys are at right now, and then let's see, the screen like goes black, it like flashes on and off, black picture, and then the picture goes away. The screen rapidly comes up, and then you hear, no, sorry, the screen's still down, sorry. Gotta build drama, sorry. Alright, the screen's still down, and then you hear the host's voice come back on. He's like, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. G-A-J-J-J-J Blackhorn, and it's like fucking like the lights just start going mad. Every single motor and every single light is fucking swiveling at maximum speed, and the place is like a nightmare for an epileptic.
Ooh, I
Lights
forgot
are-
to mention.
Oh, you're epileptic, so you're dead. Died.
Damn it.
Reroll your character, Matt. No. So, so yeah. The lights go fucking crazy. The music's like there's like this bass track that's just fucking booming. DJ Blackhorn, and all of a sudden you see like the screen fucking flies up. Smoke rushes out of the stage smoke. There's like fireworks that are like the smoke is like being lit by lasers as it's rushing out from the stage. And you see the ominous silhouette of DJ Blackhorn sitting behind. So like while that 20-minute video was going on, the crew has been hard at work. There's this giant fucking altered stage up there. There's like 2 giant bass speakers in like so the DJ is like sandwiched between these 2 giant fucking speakers that look cartoonishly big. Like how the fuck did they get those into the room big? There's like another like set of smaller speakers on the periphery of that. There's this giant DJ table that's like lit by neon lights that are flashing different colors. And there's like all the I guess a DJ workstation up there to go along with all that beautiful scenery. So there's all the spin table things. I know music. Of course I know music.
Turntables?
Turntables. There's like 4 different turntables, like tons of switches at his disposal, all sorts of synth shit going on. There's no microphone. He speaks through his music, man. So like the moment he raises his hand, drops his hand, and all of a sudden a bass track goes on and everyone fucking goes mad. So he's sort of like choreographing the madness of the dance floor with like physical, like he is a very large person. He's a troll. So like as he raises his arm, like the air goes out in the room, and then all of a sudden he drops his arm and the bass track just fucking lights up and the crowd goes crazy. Things like that. So he's like orchestrating the crowd with his movements, and you can pretty much tell why he's so popular. It's just like he's an amazing entertainer. He's like reading the crowd. Like there's no dead air in his performance. But how are you guys reacting to this performance now that it's underway?
Yawning.
Yawning? What? Yawning?
Yawning.
Okay. So let's see. Dance, what are you doing? You getting...
I'm going crazy. I'm totally a part of the mass hysteria that he's conducting.
Nice. Just so you know, also, as someone at the balcony, you'll notice that there's some people that are getting a little dangerous with the balcony. Like, they're, like, leaning over, trying to get a better view. And they're, like, halfway off of it.
Are they pushing, too, from behind?
People are getting a little bit more shovey, but they're generally... It's not getting too crazy up there. These are still, like, the elites. But there's a couple of people that are getting a little rambunctious around you, let's say.
Okay.
Matt, what are you doing?
I'm still sitting at the table with my drink, but I'm kind of nodding along with the beat.
All right, so you're still getting, like, even though you're not, like, you don't really care to be a part of the concert, you're still getting into the music.
Yeah.
Like, you can't help but get into this music. It's fucking goes to your soul, man.
I don't know about all that now.
Music.
Your the deepest, darkest depths of your troll heart are just being vibrated by this music.
Yeah, not really.
Okay. But you're still getting into it lightly at the very least.
Yeah.
Okay. So Vince, you guys, so you're in the midst of sort of a post-coital cuddle,
Oh my god.
as it were. What?
Nope. Hit it and quit it.
I didn't quit it.
In the herbarium.
So you guys are fine. You guys are still
burial.
hot and heavy in it when all of a sudden you hear the fucking bass ripping through the entire mansion, and you both realize that you're missing the concert. So
There we
what?
go.
How do you react? Oh, 1 second. You're going robot voicey.
I think I'm learning more about you than I needed to, Tyler.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back now. Is it
Okay.
good?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, just to not be a gentleman about it, stand up, kind of start putting my clothes back on, and like making like little here and there kind of words to say we should get the concert, but
Okay.
kind of insinuating I don't want to be with you.
Okay. When the bass track lights up, she fucking loses her mind. She's like, oh fuck, and she like she rushes, puts on all of her clothes, and like she's like hopping on one foot, putting like a stocking back on, or something. No, she's not wearing stocking. Like putting one of her high heels back on. So she's like hopping on one high heel while putting another high heel on, and like trying to straighten out her hair while she's like running to the door with her high heels because she wants to be at that concert real bad. Like, thanks for good time, babe. See ya. And she's like, she gives you like 3 words. Like, she doesn't care anymore. She's leaving to the concert. And she's in as much of a sprint as you can be while wearing high heels.
Okay,
but she's out of the room now, and you are alone in the herbarium, sort of, I guess, casually picking yourself up.
Softly crying.
no, not softly crying.
I thought we were gonna be together forever.
Yeah, he starts putting his clothes back on, but he's not in a rush to get back to the concert.
Okay. You're like straightening your tie, like slow and casual style. Oh wait, no, are you wearing a tie?
Yeah, so he's re-imaging himself
Okay,
for the next attack.
gotcha. So do you? I guess do you head back to the concert venue then eventually?
Yeah, I'll head back and I'll probably push my way through. Actually, I don't even think I have a problem getting back to the bar, would I?
You wouldn't, but let's hold it for a second. So
Okay.
you're still in the herbarium, and you so you leave the herbarium, and one of the guards, he's a troll guard, and he has seen the red woman, flying by, bedraggled, and then he sees you casually walk out of the herbarium. And he sort of gives you an eyebrow.
Lots of eyebrows.
Every eyebrow he has, he's given
Nod
to you.
and fist bump. Continue walking.
So yeah, how do you react to that, Vince? He's not like in your way, but he's sort of in front of you. And he's noticed the situation which has unfolded in front of him.
Probably play it off cool, like, it doesn't honestly would phase my character so long as I think it stopped, so he would try to pass the troll, acting
Okay.
nonchalant.
The troll just gives you like a nice nod, like nice.
And fist bump.
I guess passing nod in advance, like in return. That's it.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, the guard. He doesn't stop you. He gives you that nod and he moves on. He's sort of going and he heads into the herbarium after you leave just to make sure that nothing is in disorder. But he doesn't stop you because obviously you guys didn't like wreck shit in there. There's not like the display case is broken and that kind of shit. That would be like the main problem he would have. But yeah, you have a decent trek back to the concert venue. Even though you can hear the bass line from there, I'd say you're good.
Are there any passing people with champagne?
Yeah, there's like waitstaff. The waitstaff has slowed down considerably, but there is still a few people heading up to the VIP area with fresh food and drink.
I would probably grab a drink off one of the trays as they run it out.
The waiter's like, sorry, this is for VIPs. Oh, wait, it's like, oh, and do you like flash him your pass?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's like, oh, sorry, sir, and he hands you a fresh glass of champagne. Champagne.
Some Dom Perignon.
I guess Dom Perignon probably exists in this. It's not Dom Perignon, but it's pretty close. It's fancy shit.
Okay.
They don't have the money to give every single VIP the fucking ridiculous bottles, but you've probably only ever had a few sips of champagne in your life, if that.
So long as I don't have an inclination to mix it with orange juice, then it's good.
Hey, dude, that is my favorite drink in the whole wide world. Don't you dare!
I told you.
Hey, you don't use cheap champagne for orange juice.
That's exactly that's the truth. A $12 to
Czar
$20
is a
bottle
cheap
is fine.
drunk.
I am cheap. I'll drink an entire bottle of wine in a
Cheap
night
whore.
drinking mimosas, though.
Sullen wench.
Sullen wench. You've never drank with me. How can you say such things?
Yes, I have, with Jeff and you.
When did we drink?
When we were watching Trimmers.
That's right, you were there! Oh my god, I forgot about that.
And you suck at drinking.
I do suck at drinking. I didn't get nearly as plastered that night as the night that I watched Home Alone with Jeff. That was fucking ridiculous. We watched Home Alone and did a Home Alone drinking game, and I think that was the night I blacked out. It was like the second time I ever blacked out, and it was just because I hadn't drank in like 2 years. But anyways, you get your glass of champagne, and the waiter gives you sort of like an apologetic nod, and he hurries on back to the VIP section. You said you're sort of casually walking slowly?
Yeah, it's a casual pace.
Okay. So the concert is well underway by the time you're like half the way back. Because it's a large mansion, and you have gone to the extremities of that mansion to get to that herbarium. So you're moving back, and let's cut back to the VIP section. I just looked back at Roll20 and we say no to love. Interesting.
There's been a lot more things happening than that.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of it's been erased.
I've been paying attention to many other things, so because I have like 3 windows open and I'm not even streaming, so yeah, I'm definitely not going to be streaming this. You guys. Anyways, so let's cut back to the VIP balcony section. You guys are still doing whatever you said you were doing during the beginning of the concert? Still dance?
Yes.
Magic, are you still sitting at the tables?
Yes.
Sitting lazily at
I'm
the
at the
couches?
balconies at.
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then Sitnas, you're still on the couch?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Alright. Alright. Do I want to take a break there? Turntables and a microphone. Okay. I'm just looking at the stuff you wrote down. Anyways, so the concert is well underway. Everyone's fucking going nuts, feeling the music. It's like somber. Like, he's one of those crazy people who can turn a crazy room into a somber room at the drop of a dime by like changing the tune. Like, he understands how music affects people emotionally, and he's been doing that as well. And he's sort of entering a somber moment. Like the bass quiets down a bit. Like this violin track comes on, and there's actually a few people like crying in the audience. Like it's like touching them. Between like the lighting and the sort of soft, sad music, and you see DJ Blackhorn sort of, he's doing the normal things where he's like sort of orchestrating like he's been going crazy with his fist pumping when he wants the audience riled up, and right now he's sort of clutching his chest and like leaning downwards, and everyone else is sort of following along with it, and they're all like, even though they're still like moving to the music, they're like, it's like really somber, and everyone is sort of sullen. There's some
Witches.
what?
Nothing.
Okay. And DJ Blackhorn does something he hasn't done all night, where he sort of leaves the table. He steps to the side of the table, moves around. Like there's like some space in between the giant speakers and the mix table. And he moves towards the audience, but there's something weird about how he's walking, and so he's sort of swaying with his steps, and everyone in the room is just like following along with it. Then all of a sudden he drops to his knees, and he holds his arms out in the air above him, and everyone like sort of like looks up at him in awe. And then at the moment when his hands reach the air, shots ring out in the venue. So in a few seconds, the venue, like, so one shot goes off and everyone thinks it's part of the show. They're like, what the hell is going on? But then the DJ falls to the ground flat on his face, and a second and a third shot ring out in the concert hall. Like, clearly this is a gun, not like a some sort of stage
Sound
prop or
effect.
something like that. Yeah, it's not part of the concert. Like, the illusion is gone for people. Like, so the first shot, everyone's paying attention. He drops to his knees, raises his arms up. Second and third shot, he falls flat on his face, and fucking
Can I leave now?
chaos erupts. So this all happens in like 3 seconds, and I'll let you guys. So there's like that 1 second of everyone's still paying attention and thinking things are maybe still business as usual, and then the second and third shots ring out, and I want each of you guys to tell me what you do. And I'll sort of describe what's happening in the scene as you describe what your reaction is. So the person with the clearest view of the venue would be Dance.
Yeah, so I'm really enraptured in what's going on, and I think maybe I might be one of those people who is so involved in it that I'm actually weeping with some of the other people on the balcony because we're so involved in the music. And all our eyes are glued on him as he comes around. And when we hear the first shot, it just kind of like made me twitch a little bit, and my face changed into like a confused expression. And then the second shot, I immediately dropped down below the balcony. Still, I could see through because the balcony has, I'm assuming it has little slits in it.
Yeah, there's like there's sort of like this elaborate pattern of like there's like
scrolling.
waves. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like little swirls and waves that are cut out from the balcony.
Okay, so as soon as I hear the next shot, I drop down and keep my hands on the balcony, but I'm still looking through the lace part of the balcony, and I'm frantically trying to pull other people down next to me who are just in shock about what is happening.
About half the people on the balcony had the same reaction you did. The other half are just sort of staring and confused, and they're like babes in the wood, like they're bewildered. So you pull. There's like there's a human girl next to you. She looks like she's in her late teens. And you've been probably making eye contact with her throughout the night, just like, yeah, I'll get into this music kind of thing. But
Yeah.
she's sort of like stone faced during this whole thing, so You yank her down, you said?
Yeah. I,
All
like,
right.
frantically like pull on her arm and wrap my arms around her shoulders to make sure she stays down.
Okay. Yeah, she's compliant with whatever you're doing, and she's she's in shock right now. Most of the other people in the balcony have crouched down in fear as well. There's still a few like looky-loos trying to figure out what the hell's going on, but the rest of the people are sort of following suit with you. Let's move. So that's our immediate reaction for you. Let's move on to the next closest person would be Matt. You're sitting at one of the tables. How do you react? There's been gunshots, and there's music, and then there wasn't music, and now there's gunshots.
I would immediately stand up and be looking around to see where the gunshots came from.
There's so much noise and commotion that all you can tell is that it didn't come from the VIP balcony. You can tell that it came from the dance floor or the stage. You can't tell where, though, at all.
Okay.
There's just the 3 gunshots. So you didn't really have, like... There's, like, a moment to prepare it and try to listen for it, but all you were able to tell is that it wasn't, like, close by on the balcony.
After that, I kind of stay alert and just standing, trying to figure out what's going on. Just keep looking around, see if anything looks unnormal. Is somebody reacting differently?
So you notice, like, the bar staff has all disappeared behind the bar. Like, they're all hiding under there. There's one of the waiters has dove underneath your table. There's a few people who are closer to the exit around here are sort of looking both ways and then moving towards the stairwell, like trying to make sure they're safe. But other than that, most of the people are just hunkering right now. If there's anyone doing differently, then we'll go through that in a second.
Okay, I pretty much just keep looking around. That's the extent of what I'm doing at this moment.
Okay. Sitnas, how do you react?
After the first shot, I stand up.
Okay.
Second shot, I grab the nearest guard and tell him to take me to the stage.
Okay. There is there's one guard immediately to the right of your couch. Who is doing a very similar thing where he looked for where the gunshots were coming from, realized they weren't from the VIP balcony, and he is also a troll. So yeah, how do you get his attention?
I grab him.
All right, you like grab his shoulder.
Punch him in the face.
All right.
Tug his sleeve, something.
Yeah, you tug his sleeve because you're normal height, right? How tall are you?
I'm short.
Okay, you're short. Then you can tug on his sleeve like right above his arm cuff. That's like, because this guy is massive.
Yeah.
What do you get his attention? He like leans in close. He's still like sort of looking around, but so he leans in for you to talk to him. What do you say?
Take me to the stage.
Okay. So he's like,
Oh my God,
is that the, yeah, is that the, are you sure about that, ma'am? He's sort of stuttering.
I just look at him like he's an idiot.
Okay. He's like, he looks sort of bewildered at you, but he nods reluctantly, and he grabs your arm and runs with you down the stairs. Like he's pulling you down the stairs. He's like trying to be a human shield for you right now. This is like what he was trained for. Like he's going into combat mode. So he takes you down the blue staircase and takes you down the blue staircase and around. There's like a hallway that leads around to the stage, and that's so that covered like your immediate reaction and then the moments that follow. Yeah, there we go. That's your exact path. Um. Vince, you heard music, and then you heard gunshots.
Okay, so where am I in the place?
You are. I'm not gonna bother laying out the rest of this.
I'm like halfway there.
But you're like halfway back, and you hear like it's sort of like a pop in the distance. Like the bass was louder than the gunshot to you almost. Like you could hear it more clearly, and then you could hear another pop pop. But given your experience, you know exactly what the fuck is going on. You know that this is not hunky dory, as it were.
You know there were gunshots.
You recognize the sound of gunfire very easily.
What's going on around me?
Around you, there's more of these sort of like there's like black, almost like onyx-looking walls, and then in between those, there's like the glass doors that you've been going through. The floor is still lighting up every step you take, so there's no shortage of light, but the wait staff has become erratic in the seconds following the gunshots. There's a lot of commotion and confusion because these people weren't near the area. They're like, what the fuck? What's going on? What's going on? And the security is just telling them to stay put and wait for evacuation orders or something like that. But so the security staff is keeping calm. The wait staff is starting to go a little frantic, but still implicit.
Okay, give me 1 second to whisper something to you.
Okay.
Would Sitnos grabbing the guard be? Was that a like to me that's something unusual.
Yeah, you'd probably notice it, especially from your table. You'd have a good vantage of it.
Okay.
You would notice that there's very few people moving to the doors, and the fact that a guard is escorting a single person out probably caught your eye.
Yeah, so I would attempt to follow that.
Okay.
And we're reading and reading.
I'm waiting still.
Oh.
There we go. Now I'm reading.
Okay.
Alright. Does that help?
Okay. Yeah. I'd imagine, like we explained it earlier, that they have said credentials to get, law enforcement to come.
Yes. This place has like the platinum contract with Lone Star Security.
Okay.
So for those of you who don't know, security forces in this corporate dystopian future are privatized. So if you have a basic contract with Lone Star Security, they might send out a guard or two or an officer or two in like an hour or so whenever they get around to it. If you have a decent one, you'll have like, a patrol car come around in a few minutes like you would expect nowadays, but that's fairly expensive. And if you have like if you're a corporation or a very rich person, you can have like a premium contract with them, and they'll send out like a fucking Apache helicopter and a security force in like minutes.
Okay, so what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to move to the nearest trolls that are probably mobilizing. Show them my plastic ID card that I am a member of Lone Star.
Okay.
And inform them to call company for backup, but to take me to where all this is transpiring.
Okay. The guard's like, we didn't call no Lone Stars yet.
I treat them like an idiot and say, well, yeah, no shit, I was already here. Go call them and take me to the scene.
Yes, sir. The troll, the troll like steps. He like takes 3 steps forward really quickly, and you like follow behind him a little bit, and then all of a sudden he stops dead in his tracks. He's like, do you want me to call or take you to the place?
And I respond with, just point me in the direction, call them.
Alright, he's like, yes sir, and he runs, so at a running pace you get there pretty damn quick. He takes you to the backstage door, and then there's like a phone booth, again, like super fancy place. There's like this electronic system, so he goes to like one of the interface windows, and he starts ringing Lone Star Security. And we'll move to... So Sitnos is with the guard, and Magiger is sort of following them. In order to follow them, you're going to have to create a bit of commotion. Matt, there's like tables in your way and you're a rather large person. So you're gonna have to like pretty much make a run for it, and there's like no one else moving right now, or anyone who is moving very cautiously and slowly.
I thought I was at the table that's kind of near the...
No,
like
you're like back
over here. Okay. Well, see, that's
So you
clearly
saw the
straight through here.
Saw the couches, but you have to like move through those tables, and so you're gonna have to like, if you want to move quickly, you're gonna have to like run up to it, sidle, move quickly, sidle, move quickly. Is that,
I could
are you
just
willing
run
to
over the top of the couches.
Or you can do that, but then you're going to create an even bigger scene.
Sure.
There's no one on the
Nothing
couches, so if you
couches.
wanted to do that, you could. There's no securities that are going to tell you to keep your feet off the couch anymore.
I would quickly make my way past the tables as fast as possible without making a huge commotion. Like,
Alright.
I'm not trying to draw attention to myself.
You arrive at the door that Sitnos left out of, like 10 or 15 seconds after she's gone through it. What do you want to do? You want to look down the hallway?
Yeah, look down the hallway, see if I could see her where she went.
Down the stairways, the stairway is clear at this point. But yeah.
Are there any like open doors at the bottom of the stairway,
Yeah.
or
The
that somebody left open, or like?
yeah, all the doors are open.
This one door is open and all the rest are closed, or something.
So how it works is there's that stairway leading out of the VIP area, and then it leads down into the network of hallways that is the mansion. And that stairwell in between you and the hallways is clear. There's no one in it.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the bottom of the stairwell and see if I can't see any direction that she went.
Do you like sprint down the stairwell at this point?
I'm taking them a couple at a time since
Okay.
you know I'm bigger than normal, but
Yep.
I'm not sprinting down them.
As you turn the corner, so at the bottom of the hallway, or at the bottom of the stairwell, there's like a long hallway that heads off towards the stage, and you can like just catch a glimpse of a you just like barely catch the tails of a black coat sort of disappearing beyond the corner as you get down there.
Assuming that there's nobody else in the hallway at this point.
There's a few guards, but most of them are really confused right now, and they're trying to figure out what their orders are before they make any moves, pretty much. They're not like trying to stop anyone, they're not trying to shuffle anyone, they're just trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
I very purposely make my way through past to where I saw her turn down the corridor.
Okay.
But not enough though. It looks like I'm attempting to flee from something.
Okay. A couple of the guards, there's like a human guard and an elf guard, but they notice you, but they don't give you much attention. They're still trying to get orders from their superiors on the over there their voice communications, but like everything is fucking going haywire right now, and there's a million people trying to talk at once, and it's chaos.
This security sucks. There should clearly be a prioritized plan of what to happen.
Yep.
Anyways, I continue following.
Okay. I'm not disagreeing with you, Matt. Anyways, let's move back towards dance. So we covered the seconds immediately following the incident. Are you still just trying to focus on the stage and the dance floor below? Oop. Do we have dance still?
Oop, oop. Dance? Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, as soon as after I make sure the girl who I pulled down is gonna stay down, and anyone else around me that I could, I start to look around and just try and figure out what the next step should be.
All right. Glancing around, you maybe catch a glimpse of a troll heading down the stairwell in the back that you came in from. But everyone else is pretty much staying put.
Okay, I'm gonna make note of that,
Yep.
since everyone else seems to be confused and not sure what to do, and this troll is clearly moving with a purpose.
Yep. Yeah, everyone else is pretty much hunkered down right now. There's a couple of people sort of starting to shuffle away from the bars on the side. But like, there's a couple of people at this bar that are starting to shuffle along the red couches towards that exit too now. But yeah, the only people who've left the room, there's only one person you've noticed leave the room, and that's that troll.
Okay. And I would say too that we're all starting to kind of chatter amongst ourselves, like what's going on, and trying to figure things out.
While you're attempting to chatter, it is incredibly loud. The sound system is completely off, but the dance floor is in chaos right now, as you'd imagine.
Yes.
There's people being trampled. There's like people are flooding out of there's like a door back here
Bottleneck.
that are
Yeah.
there's like this tremendous bottleneck. And only the area immediately around the stage is clear. Like, the people are still crowded in this room up to like this point, but everyone's trying to get as far away from the stage as possible right now.
Okay. So maybe we're commenting on
Like,
the
did you
chaos.
see it? What
Yeah,
happened? What
exactly.
happened?
Yeah.
What's going on? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Just trying to make sense of what is happening.
All right. There's one guard that's moving around the balcony who's helping out or forcing any stragglers that are still being looky-loos to get down. And he walks right by you. If you wanted to get his attention, you could try to.
Take out his kneecaps.
The Lannisters send their regards.
Oh, I forgot to mention the whole time I'm following Sitnass, the Mission Impossible theme is playing in my head.
I saw someone using that soundtrack while they were playing Dead by Daylight and spectating the last person left on the map, and it was magical.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, did you hear anything I said just then?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, no, nothing about the guard. So
Yeah, I would say maybe as he's going by, like, I'm looking around, talking to people, trying to figure things out, and I kind of see him walking by, and I brush his hand and try and ask him what's going on, and he just says that everything's under control and keeps walking.
Yep. He's like, when you try to get his attention, he's just like, just get down, ma'am, and he sort of moves on. Yep. Or just stay down, rather. Pooping me. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm. It's not a big deal, but yeah, I'm the one who dictates the NPCs. It doesn't really.
I'm
I
just
agree.
saying that because it pissed Arby off to no end.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
And then the NPC does this. No, that's not what the NPC. No, it's fine. But yeah, that's the general rule of thumb is say what you say, and then I sort of retort with what the response of the guard is. That's again not a big deal. Now you know. Doesn't bother me nearly as much as it bothered Arby. Oh god, poor Arby. To be fair, he was getting trolled so hard.
Well, that's because he was playing with Chris and Jinx.
Yes, he was.
I think you and me were the only people taking that seriously.
Yes, we were. All right. So you're sort of stuck up there, and you're still looking at the chaos on the dance floor, the stage. Sitnos, you arrive first at the backstage door with your troll guard.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you do?
Well, I walk straight in.
All right.
I want to see what's going on.
You try to open the door, but it's locked. And yeah.
End
Tell
of
the
mission.
guard to figure out a way in.
It's like, yes, ma'am, right away, ma'am. And he punches the door a couple of times, like trying to. He's a troll, so a punch for him covers like a third of the door's. Like his fists are huge. Not a third, like a fifth of the door's area is being hit by his fist. Like he couldn't get his shoulder in on this door if he wanted to. So he's like trying to punch the center of the door frame, and then all of a sudden one of the other security guards comes up. He's like, Ned, get off! And then he sort of shoves the troll guard away, and then he scans his security badge, and he's like, this security officer appears to be of higher rank than the others, just based on how he was talking to the guard that you were with. Guard Ned, we'll call him.
Oakley Dokley.
Oakley Dokley. He's like, ma'am, what business do you have on the stage?
I need to see Blackhorn right now.
He sort of looks at you. He frowns a bit. He's like, ma'am, you don't want to go out there.
Why?
The dance floor is it looks like a riot out there.
I need to see Blackhorn right now.
He sort of he looks at you. He looks down. He's like, give me a second to get the all clear. And he starts talking to someone. He sort of leans away from the conversation. He starts talking to someone on voice comms. You're sort of, what are you doing? Like waiting impatiently?
Death stare.
Death stare. Okay. Are you tapping your foot or anything?
Oh yeah, you know it.
Okay. Hands at your hips as well.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Sweet. All right. So you're giving him the fucking death stare of a lifetime, and he feels it. It's like sort of like you can like see sweat dripping down his neck. But in that time, let's see, Vince comes with another security guard, and he arrives upon the security office, or the sort of like higher up security officer, as well as the troll, just sort of standing around trying to talk to people over the crazy busy voice comms, and that's where you arrive, Vince. He's trying to get the okay to let Sitnos onto the stage, and you sort of get bits of that conversation too. He's like, no, I need to. I need no. I know the stage is, but yes, I need to open the stage door, and so you can tell he's trying to get permission for something, or trying to get permission to open the stage door for some reason. Okay. Nope.
Wow.
No, if you, yeah, like there's so many faces at this event. Like unless you noticed the commotion at the couch, then yeah.
You guys are being mean to trolls.
Yeah, you just sort of saw the guy being escorted out, but you didn't see why. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah, the troll takes your hint, and he sort of moves towards the superior. Like he takes his thumb and his pointer finger, and like barely tries to tug on the sleeve. Like he has to be very precise about how he tugs on this person's sleeve, otherwise he's gonna yank his fucking arm off.
But
Because,
I thought they were both trolls.
No, the superior officer. Sorry, the superior officer is a human. And he's like a medium stock, African American, yeah, medium stock African American guy, probably about 6 foot tall, and he is getting his shoulder or his sleeve tugged on by this giant troll. He's sort of waving him off, like backhand waving him off, like shoo. And he's still trying to talk on the voice comms.
Does he say motherfucker a lot?
I'm too old for this shit. He does say motherfucker a lot. No, you listen to me, motherfucker. Like, we have a situation down here. Like, he's starting to get a little bit more angry and demanding.
We kind of give a few flippant snaps and kind of wave my ID card, kind of in a whimsical manner to get his attention before I kind of just flat out show it flat to him.
He notices you trying to get his attention and trying to show him something, but he just sort of waves you off too. Like, I'll get to you in a minute. No, not you. I'm talking to someone else here. No, I need security access.
Boot to the head.
Boot to the head. During this time, can you guys clear out the corridors of things that you drew? Okay.
Yeah, how do you do that?
Yeah, select it with the top one, the select/move, and then just hit delete.
There we go, I got that. Alright, so there's another hallway. Let's make this in pink.
Are these color-coded for a reason, or just because you feel like it?
Just to be different, and the black is the upper floor, the bottom is the lower floor. Or sorry. What did I just say?
Yes, it is. The bottom is the lower floor.
I was like, I didn't say pink. What the fuck did I just say? The black is the upper floor, the pink is the lower floor. There we go. And there's another hallway up to here.
The blue is elevation. What does that make the red?
The red is
Comfort.
beautiful red. Yes.
Comfort.
Velour.
Red stands for velour, always. Alright. So, you, Matt, while this has been transpiring, are... Ooh, that's not what I want. I don't want to draw that shape. You arrive at like this point here, and you see sort of the scene down the hallway a little bit. There is a human guard, sort of shrugging off another human guy and a troll, and there's another human woman with white hair, sort of sitting there staring him down. And there's a confused sort of looking troll trying to operate a virtual interaction console and trying to call the police around that area as well. But it looks... It's a little chaotic, but not as chaotic as the shit that's happening in the VIP section and the dance floor. One second.
Are you okay?
Typos.
Right, but different. That's why I kind of wanted to go over the other thing.
I would say,
It probably.
let's just say that.
Okay. Okay. I guess I would. So where's okay? I know they're all like down at this end of the hallway.
They're all down here, trying to get
But
access to that
what
door.
about the one guard that was making the phone call? Is he down there too?
Yeah, he's like back over here. There's like a console on the wall.
Okay, so he's not. He's still down the hallway. He's not like at the corner. He's
Yeah.
just. Okay. For now, I just kind of watch and try and overhear them.
All right. The after about I'd say after about a full minute of this security guard trying to get through a clear sentence to his superior officer, he's like, okay, I'll oh my god. Yes, I'll escort them. Okay, bye. And he clicks his little earpiece. So there's been a full, I'd say between the gunshots and now it's probably been about 3 minutes. And at this point, Dance, are you still doing the same thing, just sort of trying to stay low?
Well, can I also say that I noticed the troll running down the stairs, obviously, but I also noticed that all the couches were empty.
Yep. They are.
So at this point, I'm backing away from the balcony, and just sort of trying to get away from the edge as much as possible and trying to pull people with me in case there are more gunshots.
Yep. Yeah, people are starting to like crouch walk away from the balcony and towards like underneath the tables effectively. They're doing like the rich people hide under the tables, nothing bad could happen to me other than under the tables thing. Do you like take the hand of the girl you were helping to shield or protect?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I drag her with me.
Yeah, she was sort of like staying there. She's still like shell shocked as all crap, and she follows you sort of like wistfully under the tables. Like she's not putting up any fight. She's not asking questions. She's out of it. But yeah, there's like the long satin cloths hanging over the tables, so people are like hiding under them. Like your feet are still visible under there, So anyone at a glance could tell there's people under those tables, but they're mostly hidden, and that makes them feel safe. Also, tables protect you from bullets and stuff, right?
Sure.
Totally movie logic.
Totally.
Yep.
If
there's
you laid them down, I guess they might
yeah,
be better.
but these are round tables, so
Yeah. Not
uh,
very effective.
so there's a couple of people. I'd say there's a couple dozen people left at the balcony, and there's another couple dozen people hiding underneath the tables now. Well,
I would say that I decide to leave the human girl that
okay.
I brought over with me. I decide to leave her under the table with a couple other people who are already there, and I go back to try and convince the people who are still at the balcony to get under tables.
Okay. So yeah, the girl sort of like you let go of her hand, and she immediately like clings onto the. There's like a post holding up the table, and like she clings onto that and like starts hugging it and like gripping it, or like she like got her arms around it and like she's like huddling on it for protection, kind of thing. So yeah. So yeah, you spend the minutes after the shooting sort of helping to corral people to safer locations. And we move back then to backstage door.
Sorry, BRB, my dog.
Okay. So the guard finally gets off of his voice comms and he's like, "All right, we'll let you in, ma'am, but we have to send security escorts with you."
As expected.
Right, you are, ma'am. And he sort of just walks by Vince. Pretty much flat out ignores you.
I'm gonna trip him.
Okay. You can get his attention for sure. You can just like, you want to like.
I give him a trip and call him a fuckhead and tell him if he doesn't take me to the stage, I'm gonna make sure his head's on the chopping block when it gets investigated.
Do you actually do this?
Yeah.
Okay. So as he's walking by you, he stumbles forward a bit. He doesn't completely lose his balance. Let's see. Yeah, he stumbles forward like 2 or 3 steps, but it's really noticeable and it looks bad. And like the troll guards sort of glance worryingly, and he like looks back at you like with like a rock hard stare, and he's like, "Excuse me, sir."
I probably would escalate and say, "Yeah, excuse you. I'm basically going to be the first person from Lone Star here on site to give a full detailed report, and do you want to be fucking in it?"
Lone Star? We just got done calling Lone Star. Why the fuck are you here?
I was up in the VIP.
Sir, guests are supposed to stay back in the VIP section.
Okay. Well, as soon as this became a crime scene, I was no longer a guest. Now stop dicking around, or I'm gonna fucking make sure you get arrested.
And he goes from like alpha bull to like a little squirrely, but he's still trying to maintain his composure in front of the in front of his inferior officers. Is that a term that's used?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. In front of his inferior officers, he's still trying to maintain his composure. It's like, "Oh, show me your badge. Show me your badge. God damn it." And you show him.
Mm-hmm.
He spends like, I'd say like 10 good seconds
Like just
staring
remembering.
every corner of this, trying to see if it's fake or something like that. He runs it by, like he has like a wrist-mounted scanner. He scans it. He's like, "Ah, fuck. Okay. You can come in, but don't fucking touch anything, okay?"
I kind of just gave him like a hand, like not commenting, but it's like an alright gesture.
All right, okay. And he walks back. How are you reacting to this, Sitnas?
I just want the goddamn door to open.
So you're getting impatient with the fact that this guard is starting up this Lone Star officer is starting up a scene and delaying shit. Okay. So you the guard yeah, the black security officer, he's like shaking his head, he's like muttering every curse word he knows under his breath, like fuck, why did it have to be today? Fuck. And he walks up to the door. He swipes his ID badge, punches in a couple of numbers on the number pad, and then the door, like there's these like electronic bolt locks that's like click open, and then the door swings outwards back at you guys and opens. So he sort of he's the first one in. He's like he like signals you guys to stay put with like his hand. He pulls out his gun. The other two troll officers do the same thing, and he like signals them forward with his hands. The two trolls head out onto the stage, and then he follows in behind them. What do you guys do?
And push past him.
He's sort of like rushed onto the stage, so you can follow behind him, but you can't like push past him.
Well, I'm right on his ankles, pretty much.
Okay. So yeah, you're like following right behind him then, and he's the two trolls sort of lumber out onto the stage. At this point, we're about, I'd say, 5 minutes into the event. There's still probably like a third of the guests are still in the room trying to get out. It is fucking chaos. And you notice there is a handful of people on the dance floor who are making either very worrying movements, like they're like on the ground twitching, or they're not moving. There's, I'd say, probably 15 to 20 people that you see scattered around the dance floor. Let's see. The two trolls sort of go to the front of the stage and check the perimeter to make sure there's no shooters on site. The officer starts looking around, and at this point you can come up onto the stage behind him, start looking around and stuff. What do you do? Or what do you two do?
I immediately look for Blackhorn.
Alright, you go to Blackhorn. He is face first on the ground right now. You notice there's like foam coming out of his mouth, and there's no visible gunshot wounds on him. Vince, what are you doing?
I would follow suit behind Sitnos, but a little bit more cautiously.
Okay.
And I would guess take a gander at this as well, at Blackhorn.
So you guys can only see his back right now because he's laying face first and he weighs hundreds of pounds. So you can like see his face because his like head is sort of like, you know, like plopped down forward, but you can still like see the sides of his face and his back, and he's, I don't know, he's just sort of doing an A pose on the ground. But yeah.
And you say there's no exit wounds on his back?
You see no visible gunshot wounds. Just foam coming out of his mouth.
There's two troll guys, right?
Yes, there's two troll guards. They are still standing at the fronts of the stage on either side. So they're like standing on stage left and stage right, just making sure no one comes near and making sure there's no gunmen out in the crowd still.
I'm gonna ask one of them to flip him over for us.
Okay. So how do you get his attention? He's sort of staring off into the crowd right now.
I'd like to
Ask
mention.
the human guard to get his attention for me.
Okay. What did you say, Matt?
I'd like to mention at this point I've moved further up in the hallway since there's nobody else. I assume there's nobody else left in the hallway.
Okay. Yeah, there's no one in the hallway. There's At the
And
there's
is the door still open?
the door is still wide open. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm still kind of just peeking through the door to see what's going on without actually going out onto the stage.
Okay. Yeah. You get a glimpse of. You can see like one of the security officers standing way at the edge of this. You can hardly help but see the giant troll standing over there. You see sort of like the feet. So let me well, let's go into quality freehand drawing here. Velour.
Oh, sorry about that.
As all rich people should be.
So there is Blackhorn. You can like the only place where you can be and not be seen is like against this corner, like right in the friggin' corner, because you're such a huge troll. Like if you were over here, they would see you for sure.
Yeah.
So if you're standing in this corner, you can like barely make out Blackhorn's feet, and you can see the two humans standing on either side of him, and then the human security officer is standing sort of center stage, and he's back on the voice comms again.
Just listening normally, can I hear them at all? Like what they're
Yeah,
saying? Or
You can hear
okay.
most of their conversation. They're close enough to the door.
Okay.
If they say things quietly, you won't be able to make it out. But as long as they're talking normally, you'll hear everything. It is a little bit hard. Oh, sorry. Talking for long periods of time makes your voice worse. But yeah, let's see. So Sitnas, you said you were going to try to get the human guard's attention?
Yeah, I'm getting the human guard's attention so that he can get the troll.
Okay. So you approach him. He's on voice comms. I assume you like tug on his shoulder or something like that.
Yep, spin him around so he's looking at me.
All right. As soon as he notices you mean business, he's like, one second, let me put you on hold again. He clicks his earpiece again. He's like, yeah, what do you need?
Get one of those big dumbass trolls over here and flip over Blackhorn.
He's like, ma'am, I don't think we should be touching the body. Let's wait
Do
for
it.
Lone Star. Oh,
We already have
okay.
a Lone Star guy here.
If you say so, ma'am.
I guess while they do that, I'm taking pictures with my smartphone. If they do have smartphones.
I assume you would have a camera-like device. I don't know if it'd be a smartphone.
Yeah, they didn't confiscate any phones or anything that. But you have you have a camera phone, we'll say.
Okay, so I'd take photos of the scene.
Okay. So the guard comes over, notices you taking pictures. He walks past you, and he talks to the troll in this corner. And he tells him to flip over the body. He's like, Ned, I need you to flip over Blackhorn. And Ned like gives him like a pouty face, like he doesn't want to do this. He's like, Ned, just do it, okay?
We need to see if he's still breathing or not.
On his back, you notice that he was completely still.
Man.
Okay. The Ned the troll begrudgingly walks over to the body. He's still sort of glancing back out to the guest area, he's sort of keeping his guard up, but he sort of gets down on his knees, like musters up his strength and flips over. Like a troll is even heavy for a troll to lift, so he takes a lot of effort, but he sort of like he gets down on his knees, grabs up his arm, puts the troll on his shoulder, and then like sort of like flips him over a bit, I guess. logistics of this are weird, but that's how he manages to do this, because the troll's body is so wide that he couldn't just like roll him over like a normal human body. But as he's doing this, the troll guard lets out like a yelp, and in a few seconds you guys understand why. He lets go of the corpse. The corpse sort of like falls backwards. Or let's go with the body. The body just sort of falls backwards, and like the torso is facing upwards, but like the legs are still sort of like sliced to the side, kind of thing. And the guard yelps and then like backs away from it in a crawl. He sort of stumbled, letting go of the body, and you guys notice the same thing he did, which is the aside from the foaming mouth of the recently deceased, he also has blood pouring out of his eyes. And while this is all happening, Dance, you're up there with the people in the VIP balcony.
Yes.
You might have noticed people entering the stage, which would appear very fucking unusual to you.
Was I able to get everyone under the tables or no?
Yeah, everyone who was on the balcony is now currently underneath the table or heading towards the back stairwell. There's, at this point, there's a decent crowd at the back stairwell trying to leave. And the guards are starting to chauffeur people down the stairwell. So there's like starting the evacuation at this point.
Okay, so while I'm trying to get the people from the balcony, I look at the stage.
Yep.
And I'm not sure what the time frame is. Is this...
I'd say you look over the balcony just as they flip the body. You see like the troll. It looks very weird to you because the troll just flipped over Blackhorn and then crawled away in panic. You can like tell that something was fucking wrong.
Okay. So, as I'm trying to herd people back to under the tables, I see movement on the stage, and I see them flip over Blackhorn, and I see the guard react very violently, and I'm very concerned, so I walk along the railing to get kind of a closer look, and I can see...
If you get to like this point in the balcony, you can pretty much see most of what's going on.
Okay.
Although other people may notice you because you're the only person on the balcony.
Okay. So, I see them flip over Blackhorn, and I immediately break down in tears, very upset.
Okay. Yeah, you see the blood pouring out of his eyes, the foam in his mouth, and you start to break down crying. One of the wait staff who's still at the bar notices you crying and thinks you're distraught due to the pandemonium that's happening. It's a human male, and he tries to... He sort of pats you on the shoulder, and he's like, "Here, come over here, ma'am." And he's trying to direct you behind the bar, like he thinks you're scared for your life.
Okay,
Like,
so
it's gonna be okay, ma'am. It's gonna be okay.
I push him off. Leave me alone, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you right now.
Okay. He's sort of taken aback by this. He's like, okay. And then he just goes, he backs off, and he resumes hiding behind the bar, like all good bartenders in a good Western film. People on the stage may have noticed someone peeking over the balcony, but you would never have been able to make out a face or anything like that. The balcony is a lot more dimly lit, especially now that the lights from the stage show are off, or are not off, but are no longer as bright. They're like back to their like default lighting the area setting. The balcony is now pretty dimly lit. So you might have noticed someone peeking over the stage, might not have. Either way, you wouldn't have been able to see a face. So let's resume back to the things that were happening on stage. Almost looks like I wrote okay instead of drew a body.
Yeah, it does.
Anywho, so let's. Okay. So the corpses flipped. You guys noticed the pretty dramatic symptoms of what you thought was a shooting. Clearly wasn't. How do you guys react? Vince and us.
Close my eyes, turn around, and I'm kind of stressed out,
Okay.
worried, near tears.
Okay. Vince?
Is it anything that I might have seen before with
No.
my work?
Never seen anything like this before.
Okay. My first initial reaction is probably going to be it might be contagious, so I might warn Sitnas's character not to touch the body and kind
Go
of
ahead
give.
and roleplay that.
Okay. Sitnas, you're Neko, right? Is that how it is? Okay.
No, I'm just wearing headphones that
Okay.
have cat
Yeah,
ears.
yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Okay, so Sitnas, I'm gonna turn to your character. Don't touch the body. Blood from the eyes, foam from the mouth is not usually not. It usually is contagious, so don't feel like there's
I
troll over
interrupt
here.
you and push you away because you're grossing me out with the descriptions.
I look over at the troll now and I kind of give him like a shrug kind of thing, like sorry you might be fucked kind of gesture.
So he was sort of glancing between you guys and the guests that were still leaving at this point. That's probably like almost empty. There's like a tenth of the people left. But when he notices you looking back at him with a shrug and he hears you mention the contagiousness, he looks even more worried and he just fucking frowns and he actually he looks back angrily at the main
superior
security
officer.
guard, but the fucking security officer just gives him a fucking death glare, and he backs down immediately, or the troll backs down immediately, and he goes back to looking worried.
I don't. Aside from the sorry about your luck kind of gestures, I turn back to Sitnas's character, who's obviously grieving, and seeing how I'm very inconsiderate. I'm going to Sitnas. I'm going to ask your character what your name is and what your relationship is to Blackhorn.
My name is Sitnas, and I'm his girlfriend. Or was.
Or was X?
It will now be referred to as the deceased.
Tear runs down my cheek.
Aside from that, unless you want to do something with someone else's character, I'd probably move closer to the guard to try and eavesdrop on what he's saying.
The guard the main security officer who's talking on voice comms. So yeah, you sort of sidle towards him, and he notices you like approaching him, but he's not saying anything suspicious. He's still like just trying to help coordinate the evacuation efforts. Like he's saying some pretty basic stuff like, "All right, nope, like have them take the extra VIPs to hallway AC. I don't know. Maybe store them in there or bury them for now. I don't know. Take them someplace safe." Like stuff like that.
Just as a side note, I love that you took the effort to find out what her relationship is to him, and then disregarded it completely and went and go try and eavesdrop on some
Yep.
guy.
I'm only here to do the basic premise of my job.
Okay.
It's like, oh, you're the girlfriend who I should probably figure out more about that. Fuck it. What's that guy saying?
Yep. I'm trying to
Alright.
see who I can get money from.
Hmm. So Matt, what your character notices from that corner, you notice the commotion about, like you see the body flipping over, but you can't really see the face or anything that's happening.
Would I hear them talking about the condition of
You
the
would
body?
hear about the like you heard like him mention that something might be contagious or something like that, but you still have no idea what's really going on with the body. Yeah, he mentions that he's like foam in the mouth, blood in the eyes, could be contagious. Like that's that's the extent of what you can see or what you know.
What I have gathered.
Gathered, yes. You can see the security guard sitting in the center, and Vince's character is sort of approaching him. But yeah, center stage.
Okay, then at this point I have no reason to move.
Okay. Where do we go? So are you guys still, I guess, in the moments that follow your distress, Sitnas, what are you doing?
Freaking out.
All right, grab it.
Lost my cool composure.
Are you ugly sobbing?
Like a bitch.
You
No.
sobbing.
I'm still kind of cool, just a
Okay.
little, stressed out.
Okay. Oh man. Okay, so you're sort of stressing out. You're standing like, I don't know, like good 10 feet from the body or so. Oh, feet, meters.
Feet.
Yeah, 10 meters is pretty far.
No, I'm trying to figure out what. So like you're standing about 3 meters away from the body. I'm trying to help out our Aussie with distances. That makes sense.
Well.
Okay. Because I'm really bad at meters beyond like 5.
Oh yeah, me too.
We use both, so.
Okay. So you're like
It's
10
not
feet
that
away,
hard.
right? So you're like,
What was that?
so you're sort of like semi-distant from the body, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Vince, are you just gonna continue to eavesdrop on the security officer, or are you gonna continue investigating the body or the girlfriend?
I'm gonna walk over to one of the trolls, not the contagious one, the other one.
Okay.
And I'm going to whisper to him that regardless of what his superior officer says, he needs to make sure that Sitnos does not leave the scene, so that when Lone Star arrives, they can give a proper, thorough investigation of her.
Okay.
And aside from that, I'm going to head back the way that we entered from, because I'm going to try and start searching through garbage cans whenever I get to said garbage cans.
Okay. So you leave the stage.
Yes.
All right.
As I
Uh-oh.
see him starting to leave the stage or getting up and heading that direction, I kind of walk halfway down the hallway, knowing
Yeah.
that I can't get all the way down the hallway.
Oh yeah.
I turn back around and act like I'm heading towards the door.
Ha. All right.
So when he sees me, my initial reaction is confused. What's going on? There was something coming from this area, and just trying to figure out what's going on.
All right. So yeah. So Vince, as you are leaving the stage, you see a troll walking down the hallway. He looks sort of confused and worried. And I'll let you guys.
What was the place I was having relations with the Chinese lady in called again?
The herbarium.
Okay.
And that's where most of the VIPs are getting shunted to.
Okay, so I'm gonna flag down the troll. I'm gonna be like, sir, you should head towards the Imperium. VIPs are gonna be held there for their own safety. You should return to that area. If you don't know how to get there, I can show you where it is really quickly before I need to get on my way.
No, I think it's back down this hallway and the opposite direction of the balcony, right?
That's correct.
I'm kind of confusedly asking, making sure that's correct. And as soon as I hear that's correct, I kind of say, "Oh, okay, thanks," and stumble back towards that direction, kind of slowly, like not slowly, but as
Like
if I'm
normal
still
walking.
kind of lost.
Very good, very good. All right. So yeah,
All the
Vince.
while kind of glancing over my shoulder to see what he's doing.
I'm not gonna walk past him. I'm gonna kind of like keep, like, as long as every so many inches that he moves, I'll take a step. So he kind of gets the hint that I'm gonna make sure that he goes along with me.
Okay. So Vince, like right along this hallway, there's a doorway. Let me draw this. Oh.
Has tools.
It's gonna be like, it has trash cans. I'm gonna be like, sorry, bro. You can find the way to the plant shit by
Sorry,
yourself.
Sorry, brah. All right. So let me write things down. All the way to herbarium. Hallway. So as you leave the stage, you direct the troll, but like as you're passing the hallway, you notice like the kitchens to your left. So you tell the troll where to go, but you probably want to head to the kitchens if you want to investigate trash cans, etc.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
All right. So
So I'm not gonna babysit you the entire way.
what?
That was your mistake, sir.
They don't pay me enough for this.
So maybe you see like you see the troll turning the corner towards the herbarium, and then you head into the kitchens. Does
Yep.
that sound about right?
That sounds about right.
All right. All right. Anybody else needs to be doing anything? Dance, you're still sobbing away up top on the balcony.
Yeah. How clearly can I see faces of and can I
Yeah.
see the people on stage clearly?
Even through the slits, you can still probably make out most of what's going on the stage.
Okay.
You just can't hear anything. It's too far away. There's still some chaos happening back here. Maybe
Okay,
you
so
could
just
hear like a
visual.
word or two, but mostly just getting sight. Yes.
Okay, but I can see everyone clearly on stage.
Yes.
Okay.
You can see clearly everything that's happening on the stage.
Okay. So
Now that the rain is
are
gone.
are the guards trying to like herd me down?
No, they're still busy with all the people that are under the tables.
Okay.
They're sort of moving. They're sort of like moving from the back of the room forwards to try to clear out the VIPs to the herbarium. I'd say they're probably a little over halfway done.
Okay, so then I would say I'm very upset, sobbing, ugly sobbing, and but I do take a moment to notice everyone who's on stage and just kind of see everybody who's up there, and then I would head back to wherever my my human friend is.
Okay.
To make sure they're okay.
Yeah, she's under like this table, one of the bigger tables, and she's still firmly clutching the center of the table.
Okay. So yeah, I
So-
would say then I am very upset, but I realize that I need to take care of her, so I go back
Okay.
to the table that she's at.
Do you like tap her on the shoulder or anything like that? Try to get her attention.
No, I just maybe I just rub her back, trying to comfort her and try and comfort myself as well.
All right. She notices you sobbing next to her, and then she starts to lose it too. Like her eyes start to well up. She doesn't start like ugly sobbing, but she starts welling up, and she tugs on. One second. You're wearing a coat, right?
Leather jacket.
Okay. She like sort of grabs the lapel of your jacket and like forces you closer to the column and starts like hugging you with the center of the column.
Okay, so I return her embrace and I hug her really tightly, and I realize that I have to get myself under control because she needs me to be not
She's
a
like-
mess.
She's like trying to comfort you, despite her own she's like instinctually trying to comfort you.
Okay. Okay, so then yeah, we just share a moment together where we both are just letting out all of our grief
Emotions.
and comforting each other.
My emotions. My emotions.
All the feels.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Let's move to Vince. So Vince, you're in the hallway to the kitchens. There's like a whole bunch of trash cans stacked up along the wall leading to the kitchen where all the waitstaff have been dumping the garbage for the evening. The waitstaff is mostly gone. They're sitting in the kitchen, huddling for safety, waiting for instructions.
Okay, so as I go through the hallway, you said there's trash cans in there, right?
Yep, there's like there's like large, like the blue plastic circular bins with like the giant like industrial black garbage bags, and that's where they've been dumping all the uneaten, half-eaten food and things like that.
I'd probably lift up the lids as I go through and look through and maybe pick through very carefully to see if I could find any sort of weapon in there that might have been used.
You're sort of like scraping the surface of the garbage and things like that, and trying to like just turn it over.
Yeah, so if there's like a top very thin layer, like if there's papers on top, maybe moving the papers aside.
Yeah.
But if it's like spaghetti, I'm not gonna like stick my hand into spaghetti.
No. You rummage through some of the bins and some of the obviously the less disgusting. Like they've been sort of separating it out too. So like organics have been going into like because DJ Blackhorn was a big person of he was big into the green movement. And he's trying to make sure all the organics got recycled into compost and things like that. So there's like the compost bins, and then there's like the paper garbage, plastic garbage, and things like that. You rummage through like the paper and plastic garbage is turning over the first, I don't know, few inches or so of garbage, but you don't notice any weapons or anything like that in there. Nothing seems out of the ordinary, just normal party trash.
Okay, then I would probably progress into the kitchen then.
Inside the kitchen, you see a handful of cooks and chefs and waiters. They're all they're not like huddled down so much as they've sort of banded together in small groups, like trying to figure out what's going on, like rumors and murmuring. Like, did you hear any other gunshots? No, just the 3. Man, what the hell is going on out there? I don't know. We'll just have to wait for evacuation, like that kind of thing.
Okay. Actually, I want to double back to the trash cans one more time.
Okay.
And I want to look for gloves. Any sort of plastic or rubber gloves.
There are a couple of like food handling gloves left over from the kitchen staff in the plastics bin. But you can tell that they've been used to handle food. Doesn't seem like anything else.
I'd still I probably
I'd
would
say you
take
see
them.
maybe like 3 pairs of those amongst like the top layers of trash. Like if you want to really get in there, I'm sure you could get like 3 dozen dirty food-ridden pairs of plastic gloves. But on the top layer, I'd say there's like 3 pairs of plastic gloves.
I probably would take my suit off and use my suit to pick out the gloves and carry it into the kitchen where I'd ask the staff for any plastic bags they might have.
All right. You walk into the kitchen. The one of the cooks notices you and sort of walks over. He's like, "Hey, are you with security?" And he notices you with the gloves and the fancy dress and all that stuff. And he's like, It's like, are you a security? Are you the guest? What?
I would just say private security, and then leave it at that, and then ask him
Okay.
for bags.
Like, yeah, sure, we keep bags over here. He opens up a drawer, pulls out a plastic baggie, and opens it for you.
Okay, I'd do my best to gingerly put them into the bag as possible.
Okay. Yeah, the gloves go into the plastic bag. Everything seems hunky-dory there. And he sort of like, he gives you a weird glance. He's like, okay, and he hands you the plastic bag after opening it for you.
Okay, so in addition to that, after I would seize the bag, I would, I don't know, I don't think I would slip my suit back on after putting it in the trash. I would probably
There's like, it's I'd say there's probably like maybe like a little frosting from one of the cakes on your suit, but it doesn't seem too noticeable. It's like most of it was just like crumbs.
okay.
Just lick it off.
Just lick it up.
Flick it off, man.
It off.
Especially because someone may or may not have been killed via,
Damn
infection.
straight.
Totally. The cake is a lie. Anyways, aside from that, I would just ask him if he, what the head count was for the cooks tonight.
Everyone's still here, man. We're just waiting to be evacuated.
Okay. On that note, because I'm only half interested in doing my job, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna thank him and leave.
He notices you leave the room. He resumes the rumor mill and mumbling of his fellow kitchen staff. And now let us jump cut to Matt. What the hell are you doing, Matt?
Assuming that there's nobody else in the hall, I would have followed Vince to the hallway. Once I saw him go down the hallway and
So-
noticed that there's not really a place to hide, I
No,
would have.
he saw you leave through this hallway. So are you saying
Right.
you double back, looked back over, saw him going to the kitchens? and
Yeah,
followed him there?
assuming there was nobody else to corral me into the herbarium where I'm supposed to be.
Yes, actually there were at that point. There were, so the guards are starting to filter people down from the VIP section, and as soon as you got to this hallway, the guard's like, show me your badge, sir.
Okay, so I show him my VIP badge.
Okay. He's like, right this way, sir. VIP is the herbarium.
Okay. I would just follow him at that point. There's not a whole lot I could do.
And you enter the herbarium. There's like, I guess to give it more of a description, there's sort of like a natural stone pathway that leads through it, and now that pathway is completely full of rich people in fancy dress, and everyone's just trying to figure out what's going on. I was gonna make a bad joke about a weird smell coming from the corner, but I'm not even gonna go there.
Oh man.
I'm not
Oh,
even gonna go
jeez.
there. I just need to
Wow.
mention that crossed my mind.
You actually did go there, sir?
I actually did go there, but I didn't make it canon, so it's not canon. But anyways, yeah, there's again, there's murmuring going on. A couple of people look fairly worried, but all in all, it's pretty calm.
I would look around and see if there's any like concentration of security guards somewhere or important people that aren't just panicking.
There's a couple security guards at the door as you entered the herbarium, but there's no security personnel inside the herbarium itself.
Okay.
As
In that
for
case,
fancy people are everywhere, and
But I
everyone's
mean
fairly
that
calm.
that aren't like panicking or just
Everyone's pretty
murmuring to
calm right
themselves. Okay. Then I'd try and place myself as close to the door as possible, so I can overhear as much of what's going on.
Okay. The guards around there don't say anything of any real consequence. They're just talking about, yeah, man, I heard the gunshots, but I didn't see the shooter. Things like that.
Okay. I assume I'm confined to this area, so I pretty much just have to wait.
Yes, the guards are not letting anyone out of the herbarium yet.
And there's no other exits or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
There's a stone path that leads to a dark corner, and that's it.
Are there any, like, terminals or anything like that?
Nope. All there is plants, and there's like a display case with fancy orchids.
Fucking
and things
stupid
like that.
nature.
Fucking nature. God damn it.
Okay, then I just chill out.
Alright. Let's move back towards Sitnos. Has anything changed in your composure, or are you trying to do anything different, or what?
I'm avoiding looking at the body.
Okay. So you're still just sort of keeping to yourself and trying to come to grips with the situation?
Yeah.
The dance floor is now completely empty except for the bodies that are laying still on the ground at this point. There's probably about 20 bodies laying around the dance floor. Can't tell exactly what happened to them. The troll that was standing over in this corner has sort of moved closer to you, and he's trying to comfort you. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, ma'am.
I've got that freaking Cotton Eye Joe song stuck in my head right now.
Where did she come from? And where did she go?
Where'd you come from?
Cotton Eye Joe. Alright. So, how do you react to the guard? He's obviously trying to be consoling. He's not trying to be dickish in any way.
I don't know. I'm kind of in my own mind at the moment.
Okay. So you don't make any attempts to like shove him off or anything like that?
No.
Okay. He's just sort of standing at your side. Let's move back to dance. So the guards have approached your table, and they're like, "Ma'am, or ma'ams, we're moving people to the herbarium moving VIPs to the herbarium for safety. Would you please follow us?" The girl is still like gripping both you and the center post point.
Okay, so I peel off my human friend. I try and peel her off the table post.
Okay.
And we go willingly with the guard.
Okay. She clings pretty hard. As you are trying to peel her off, she's clinging like inhumanly hard. Like you'd have to like really fucking force her to get her off. Do you want to talk to her?
Yeah, I'll talk to her.
Okay. So she's like, no, it's safe. It's safe here. It's safe here.
Okay. So she's still gripping me. As soon as I come back near the table, she is still gripping me, and I try to take her hand off my shoulder so I can look at her in the face.
Okay. She does make eye contact with you.
Okay. And I try and talk. I try and talk evenly, and we really need to get out of here. It's not safe out in the open. We need to get somewhere that's more covered.
She starts muttering a little bit. She's like, "But it's my birthday present. But it's supposed to be. This is my birthday."
Okay. My heart breaks a little bit inside, and and I reassure her. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're still going to celebrate your birthday. We can't stay here. We need to move on somewhere safer.
But
or
I don't.
we're still in danger here.
I don't know. Who are you? Who are you?
My name is Rochelle. What's your name?
So I'm. And she sort of stares blankly for a second as the GM comes up with her name. Martha. I need a softer
Ivy.
sounding name.
Gargantua.
Gargantua, the destroyer of worlds. What? No. She is
Call her Ivy.
My first thought was Emily, so I'll go with the more French sounding Emile.
Oh, that's
Yeah, don't confuse me, gosh.
God, it's like my name's Emile.
Emile, we have to get out of here. I will protect you. Don't worry. I won't let anything bad happen to you.
She like slowly lets go of the arm of the leg of the table, and she grips equally hard onto your arm. And she sort of hides her face in your shoulder.
Okay,
And she's like, okay. And now
Okay.
she's actually starting to openly sob. Like before she was like tearing up on your behalf, but now she's actually sobbing into your shoulder.
Okay. So I wrap my arm around her and I rub her back, trying to comfort her as much as possible, slowly standing up to follow the guard.
All right. Yeah, she's clinging hard to you, so anywhere you go, she does too. So the guard sort of chauffeurs you. He's like, God, this is so much better with the webcam because I can actually make hand gestures and you can see them. But he sort of, chauffeurs you with his arms. He like directs you towards the stairwell, and there's like a steady stream of people leaving the VIP balcony, and you're sort of stuck in that, or you're following along in that line of people that's leading out to the herbarium.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm definitely trying to stay alert in my surroundings.
Okay.
And
Yep.
feeling like I need to take care of this person.
Everything seems pretty calm as you travel down the herbarium. The girl continues to sob rather frantically into your shoulder. She's taking pretty uneven breaths, like that kind of thing. But the guards and any staff that's still visible are still fairly calm about things. And you take the long walk down to the herbarium with this with Emile clutching your shoulder. Let's continue that. So you arrive at the herbarium. Glorious, glorious pinnacle. Now let's go pinnacle of botany prowess. Plants everywhere. Everything's fancy and beautiful and gorgeous. There's a couple of guards standing at the door as you enter. There's a large troll standing near the entrance. You don't recognize them at all. And there's a whole bunch of other fancy rich people of various races and meta types sitting around.
Well,
loitering around the stone path.
I did see a troll leaving.
Saw the troll leaving, but there's still, I'd say, probably 6 or so trolls amongst
Okay.
the VIPs. So you probably, based on the glance you had, wouldn't have been able to pick them out.
Okay.
Maybe like you might have a suspicion based on like hair color and relative height, but nothing that you could really confirm. And he's huddling here with the VIPs too.
Okay, do I Do I recognize the plants and things that are in the room?
Yeah. There's a lot of the plants here are things that you use in your daily practices. I guess the backstory that I can give you guys is that Dance's character is very familiar with both herbs, spirits, as she is an herbalist and a spiritualist. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, a lot of these things are things that you use commonly. A lot of them
Okay.
are a little more exotic that are more just beautiful and don't have any real application to alchemy or anything like that.
Okay. So we come into the room, and then I decide to start talking about some of the plants to comfort her
Okay.
and kind of take her mind off the crazy situation that's going on.
You notice the gorgeous display case sitting in the corner, and there's no one near it right now.
Okay,
With the orchids.
we walk over to the display case. And I start telling her about the orchids, where they grow, what the best lighting conditions are, and common applications you can use them for in medicine and herbology.
She's still clung tightly to your shoulder, but she's nodding along as you talk, and she seems to be a bit calmer.
Okay, so are there any other plants in the display case?
The only ones in the display case are the orchids. But there's tons of other plants in here. Like you could probably host a 10-hour seminar talking about each of the plants, herbarium.
Okay, so I ask her if there's any plants that she sees that she wants me to talk about.
She points out a couple of the palms that are hanging down off the wall.
Okay.
'Cause it's very. She's like, I've never seen anything like that before.
Okay. We walk over to the palms.
Okay.
And I ask her, oh, you said she's never seen those before.
Yeah, she's never
Okay.
seen anything like that before. This is entirely new to her. She's, yeah, most people who live in cities have never seen plants this exotic.
Okay.
You're
Okay,
probably
so-
the only person in that entire room who knows anything about any of those plants.
All right. So maybe oh, bless you. So I
That was
start
definitely
telling
a laugh at Vince.
So I start telling her about the palms, and as I'm talking, I'm starting to feel a little less panicked myself. So I'm talking to comfort her and get her mind off of things, but I'm also doing it for myself, and trying to just fill up the time while we wait for someone to come rescue us.
All right. Yeah. You continue to explain the different types of plants to her, and she's just sort of eating it up. And
Do we get the attention of anyone else, or?
Matt,
Just
did you
her.
notice the scared little girl clinging onto the redheaded elf woman?
I would notice, but given the situation, it doesn't really.
Stand out.
Yeah.
The only thing that stands out is most of the other people are a little more calm and composed, and that scared little girl, I say little girl, she's like 19 years old, is the only person who you've noticed that's entered the room who is still sort of distraught and frantic.
Okay.
So that's what you noticed, Matt, is you noticed there's the one person that you have seen enter the room has been frantic is that little girl clinging onto a redheaded elf. But other than that, unless it's interesting to you, which probably isn't, you don't pay them that much attention.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay them that much attention.
Okay. You probably see them enter the room, not much else. And nothing much else happens in the herbarium. Other than Dance consoling.
Can I ask her, now that she's calmed down a little
Yeah.
bit, can I ask her a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, where do you come from, Emil?
I live in the city.
The city. What's the name of the city?
Oh, sorry. The city we are in is Seattle.
Oh, okay. So she comes from Seattle.
She lives in like downtown Seattle.
Oh, okay. You said today's your birthday. Did you come here by yourself to the concert?
Yeah, my parents couldn't afford to come too, so they just let me come alone.
What do your parents do for a living?
They work for let's consult the rule book. Let's pick out a corporation. I don't remember all the corporations anymore. They work. They both work for Renaku.
Do you have a job? Do you work somewhere?
Sometimes here and there.
Do you work for your parents?
Yeah.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
Nope. No.
Only child, huh?
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I missed out, but I don't know. I didn't have to share anything. God,
Well,
I really
that's
am a
true.
better scared little girl than I am a mistress by far.
Right?
Right? Alright.
Maybe you need to get drunk.
Maybe. That's exactly what I need to do, actually. If I want to play a seductress.
The drunk DM. That's gonna go over
God.
great.
Yeah, that
Right.
works
That would go
great.
well.
God, I can hardly keep track of shit when I'm sober. I can't even keep track of shit when I'm sober. What am I? Who am I kidding? Anyways, but yeah. You asked,
Let's see.
like, how about you? What do you do?
What do I do? Well, I get to work with all these amazing plants that you see around us.
She sort of stares at you wide-eyed. It's like, oh, that's why you know what all these pretty plants do.
Yep, it's my passion. I love it.
Oh. See, I always kind of like plants, but get many of them in the city.
Well, I'd be happy to help you learn more about it.
And she sort of smiles and buries her face in your shoulder again. She's like, I'd like that. But she's still hiding her face as she says that.
Well, it sounds good then. As soon as we get out of here, I will take you under my wing, and you can learn herbology.
She closes her eyes, and you can sort of tell she's smiling underneath all of that, and she's nodding yes.
My apprentice you shall be then.
But yeah, she continues to sort of cling onto your shoulder then, and we can end that scene there.
Yep.
All right. So, the where do we move to? Vince. So you leave the kitchens.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do next? What do you do next? I'd say you probably have a good couple. You only have a couple of minutes left, rather, before the rest of the security force arrives.
I would probably head back towards the stage.
Okay. You do anything of note there before the rest of the security force arrives?
I'd look around to see if there is a sound booth. Is there a sound booth present?
There is the main mix station on the stage where the DJ was performing, but other than that, there's no visible sound booth on the stage.
I'd go over to the mix table and see if anything was plugged in, like a thumb drive or something like that.
No, everything here seems to have the sole purpose of making music. The only thing you notice is there's sort of a bend in the table, and the drapery around that part of the table, there's sort of a cloth lining the sides of this or the sides of the back of the sound booth, and there's like a whole bunch of computers and crap plugged into the thing where like all synth tracks were stored and all that shit. But that's slightly torn, and there's like a that noticeable ding in the table.
I take a couple of photos of that with my smartphone.
Yeah, based on your previous experience and what happened to the victim, you can tell that was probably the victim did that when he was becoming distraught, discombobulated, whatever.
It is from my vantage point while I'm looking around. Can I see if there's any cameras?
You notice there are a few cameras up in the ceiling, and did you leave before the video started playing? I can't remember.
The video?
Yeah, there's the montage video of like.
Oh yeah, I
highlights
left
of
before
certain
that.
moments. Okay. Yeah, you notice a couple of like those security balls in the ceiling that may or may not have working cameras in them, but most of the ceiling is covered in various lighting fixtures to light the stage and dance floor.
Okay. And last thing, are there any marks on the stage? Like his like if he had tennis shoes, are there scuffs that I could see like kind of his momentum before he?
So it's like a stage floor, so there's all sorts of scrapes and scuffs from the various like the other bands that were playing. It's a pretty brand new venue, so this is like sort of like the kickoff concert for this venue, because he wanted to make his home the venue, and that's part of why it was such a big event.
Okay.
But
is there any blood on the floor then?
There
Like outside of the area where he currently is, like
the scuff marks seem random, and the only blood that you can detect is just the blood that came from his face.
Okay. So I would position myself back from the mixing table and align myself where I could take a photograph showing the distance between the table where the ding is to where the body currently is lying, and so I can see that there's no blood splatters between the two.
Yep, you don't see any blood splatters. The only thing, there's like a pool of blood where his face was lying down in, and then there's like the blood dribbles coming off of his face from now he's laying face up.
Okay, aside from that, I assume Sitnos is still there, so I would just stay with Sitnos until the cavalry arrives.
Alright. Sitnos, you don't do anything else of note?
Relaxing, calming down now.
Okay. You're sort of, you and the big troll guard, not Ned, the other troll that I haven't named. Let's call him Fred. So you and Fred are sitting off closer to center stage, probably, right? So the body's here, and you're probably standing somewhere around center stage, close-ish to the security guard who's still barking orders over his voice comms.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is all taken place about 10 minutes or so between the first gunshot and now. The dance floor has completely cleared of people, and through that main dance floor door, I'll mark it with a object. Okay. Oh. Door. So that is the door. And through that door, actually a fairly wide door. Let me check that. 10 minutes, 1,500 people flooded through it, so I'd say the door is probably about that big. Alright. So, through that door, a cadre of police personnel start filing through. They're using proper trigger discipline, but they have their weapons drawn, looking for active shooters, things like that. A medical dock wagon pulls up. Dock wagon, for those of you who don't know, is the medical service of this universe. Generally, you only get medical attention from ambulances or doctors at all if you have a lot of money to pay for like a license. So you'd spend like $5,000 for a 1-year license. That means an ambulance would actually come out if you called them to save your life in a life-threatening situation. Otherwise, they're like, "Oh, sorry, you have our bronze policy, so we can make it out to you by tomorrow," like that kind of thing. Or you can come here. We could give you some stitches, I guess. Yeah. So, but for in this specific instance, and it's something that you guys have rarely seen before, this entire building is covered by a dock wagon policy. So you see like a dozen emergency responders pour into the building, and they start taking vitals and all that for all the guests in the dance floor areas. And one of them, or a pair of them, come up to the stage to inspect the DJ. And how do you guys react to that?
I'm still in my own little world right now, freaking out.
Okay.
Still kind of, stressed out.
All right, Vince. I guess they approach. Are you standing near the body?
Yes.
Okay. They approach you. Then they're like, they I guess they start to approach the body first. They give you a glance, and then they approach the body. Say anything?
It depends. Am I able to see anyone I would recognize, or someone distinguishedly a superior officer?
For now, most of what you see is low-ranking officers. A few of them you recognize, but no one that you're friends with or anything like that. Maybe just someone you've seen around the donut table or something.
Okay. And these individuals
The
are...
donut table. Wow.
Yeah, right.
Soy nut.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, cops love their soy donuts, man.
And our soy coffee.
And your soy soy cafe.
So are they like are they just here to collect the body for an autopsy, or are they dusting for prints? Like what
What's happening right now is there's a whole bunch of cops in the main guest area that are sort of still checking for active survey or shooters. They're not worried about investigating at all.
Okay.
And there's 2 emergency first responders trying to make sure that Blackhorn survives. Obviously, that's not an option right now. So one of them sort of reaches forward to take his pulse. You don't stop him.
Are they wearing gloves?
Yeah, they're wearing gloves.
Then I don't stop them.
Okay.
I kind of
He knows
just...
what he's about. That's his job.
I know, right? Well, maybe he does his job like I do my job.
They like check his pulse. They like shine the light in his eyes to check for pupil response. They don't got nothing. One of them has sort of like a data pad around here. Call it time of death, blah blah blah, all that. They're being rather loud about all this as well. They're like saying, they're like speaking. They are starting to write up a report now. They're like symptoms or signs of distress. Nope, no signs of distress. Lacerations. Nope. Any entrance or exit wounds? Nope. Like, so they're going through the normal procedures.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so you just sort of onlook?
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that I have my ID out and ready to present, as well as my phone in the bag. But aside from that, I'm not gonna interrupt their procedures, and I'm going to wait in the right place, so I'm in the right place, for the superior officer to kind of do his thing.
After about 5 minutes, you see a familiar face finally. It is your old friend, Roger McLean. McLean. He immediately spots you on the stage and he walks forward to you.
I guess as he approaches, I kind of give him one of those shrugs, like I guess this happens to me on my free days.
Yeah. And he sort of gives you like a sad nod. He's like, yeah. So yeah, he approaches you and he's like, oh, what do we got here? What kind of mess do we got here? How about that?
I would hand him over the bag, as well as my phone opened up so he could swipe through the pictures as I'm talking to him.
Okay.
So I'd
Like,
offer that to him.
You hand him the bag.
Sorry.
He's like, what?
BRB.
Oh, go ahead. Okay. He's like, what's all this?
Well, I kind of give him the run through. We heard multiple gunshots, but there's no entry or exit wounds, which leads me to believe that it might have been a chemical or a poison, something administered to him, which someone might have had to use gloves. So I went through the nearest garbage cans and removed all the gloves for DNA testing later on.
1 second, I need to type things.
Mm-hmm.
He's nodding his head and soaking in everything you're saying, swiping through the pictures as he nods.
I kind of jerk my thumb over my shoulder too to where Sitnos is, and I go, "Girlfriend, her name's Sitnos." Well, I don't say girlfriend. I say Blackhorn's girlfriend.
Okay. Girlfriend of the victim.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right. We'll get an interview with her. So,
I go, aside from that, I wasn't necessarily able to see what happened. And I kind of give him like the toss and forth like look.
it's like, well, be glad you weren't on the job. I'd have to give you an earful if you were on the job, but well, it's fine. It is what it is. Let's see. You can feel free to head home if you want. We'll finish the investigation from here. He sort of signals over some of the inferior officers and he's like, gentlemen, or I guess what's your response to that? Do you want to leave?
Are y'all gonna play next week?
Yes, if you're available, or no?
I'm not gonna be able to, but if you guys wanted to play next week, this might be a good segue to that, and then I come back.
I want to wrap up this whole event for the evening.
Okay.
This evening. So there's not much left to it. So you can feel free to leave here, and our next session we'll have whenever you're available, guys.
Okay.
And that'll be our first stream session as well. We'll figure out the details of that individually.
I'd probably tell him I'm gonna stick around, sober up a little bit, and then help out where I can. But I also inform them that there are people in the herbarium. Thank you.
I have to give complicated names that don't mean anything.
Why are you doing this to me? I
could have called it a garden, a greenhouse. Nope, it's an herbarium.
Nope.
Yep.
Herbarium.
But I inform them that there are people in the herbarium that were in the VIP section that might have seen what happened.
Like, all right. Oh well, if you do want to help out. Once you're sobered up, we got plenty of people to interview. Mess out there.
Sounds good. Let me go find some water or coffee and sober up.
All right. So he signals over to a couple of the inferior officers, and they haul you over to like the they have like a command center, right? Like a mobile command center set up in like the back of a fucking like a big heavy what are they called? Armored no, bigger. It's like a armored personnel carrier, an APC.
Okay, I was
like
wondering if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, they have like an APC with like a giant fucking satellite dish on top of it, like super high tech. It's got the nice bright yellow Lone Star label on it. It looks like a sheriff badge with a star in the center.
Do they have a coffee bitch in there?
They got coffee, they got donuts, they got snacks and refreshments. There's that's where I can't remember his first name now. That's where Roger was before he entered the building. That's where he was sort of distributing orders. And this is sort of where all the higher ups meet. You're more than welcome to stay there as long as you want. Is that
Yep.
good?
Yep, that's good.
Okay. So how the rest of the evening sort of peters off, Sitnos, you're interviewed fairly thoroughly by the guards. They ask you anything you saw, smelled, heard, things leading up to it that might be suspicious. They take your statement and they let you go on with your life. Eventually, well, for the evening, I guess at the end of the evening, you retire elsewhere. I don't know. Where do you decide to go?
Back to my crib.
Okay, you go back to your crib.
That's
Eventually-
empty without your boyfriend.
Yeah. Oh, I go back to Black On's crib.
Oh,
The one that we're all in.
Drown my sorrows.
that large, like super extra plus troll-sized bed that's now very, very empty without him.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
I'm a bastard.
Wow.
I'm a bastard.
Jeez.
All right.
Cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded. Man, gotta drive up them feels. All right. Eventually, the police personnel get around to, like, they've been dealing with the masses that have like fled the building outside and trying to get interviews from people who are on the dance floor. Eventually, after maybe like 2 or 3 hours, they get around to the VIPs stored in the herbarium. They sort of
Stored.
stored,
We're stored in the herbarium.
safely stashed away. They get to you, and nothing really of note happens. They take your statements. You can tell them whatever you want to tell them. It's not really relevant.
Fuck you, everything I have to say is relevant.
Everything you've got to say is relevant. Do you really want to talk to law enforcement personnel, though? Really? Do any of you?
Nobody
Yeah,
comply.
Thought so.
Fuck the police.
Anyways, so they take your statements. You give them the basic shindig of what you've seen, the gunshots, pretty much nothing they haven't heard from 20 dozen other people. And they shuffle you out to the main street where they have like there's like cabs escorting the VIP guests. Like there's like shuttle buses taking the normal guests that are still around back to the city, those who haven't literally fled into the streets. Any of the normal guests that are still around are being either taken on dock wagons back to a hospital or are being escorted back to the city via shuttle buses. There's personal taxis, though, for every single person who's in the VIP section. You all move along, and there's extra plus-size troll taxis for the other metahuman guests. Of course.
For me, because I'm better than everybody else.
Because you're better. It's literally an SUV that's painted yellow with white stripes. For troll guests, and there's like like a troll will take up like an entire row of that seat. But you have your own luxury taxi service to take you back to wherever you want to go. And unless there's any closing questions, comments, concerns, things like that, that's where I'd like to end the night.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right. So that was the event. What I want you guys to do so we have a 2-week break before our next session. I want you guys to think about. So there's going to be. We're not going to have filler arcs, but there is going to be a year delay in between this event and the events that follow. Sort of come up with what your character is doing in the year that follows this event. And sort of bounce ideas off of me and keep me in the loop for what you want your character to do. I want everyone to check in with me to see what their character is doing, and I will go through secret things that only some of you will hear as well.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Alright. But other than that was fucking awesome, guys.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Sorry, you
That was
gotta
fun.
practice. You gotta practice talking sexy for next time.
I gotta get drunk and go to bars and flirt with people. Ugh.
As a hot Asian woman.
As a hot Asian woman, so I have to also cross-dress. Okay.
Yep.
Doing it. Doing it.
Don't forget to show some
You
leg.
have to cross-dress well.
I would have to shave. Oh no, that's not happening. I have to shave my legs.
Nonsense. Just put stockings on. You'll be fine.
Okay, that works.
I was getting pretty sad there at the end, and then I looked at Facebook, and my cousin literally just popped out her baby. So I'm happy with him.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
All right. So, yeah, great job, everyone. It is really fun. I must say, I will miss by the end of this. I'm sure I'll miss the number crunching and the combat and all that stuff. But it was a lot of fun actually getting through a good chunk of story in one session, as opposed to fretting over multipliers and.
As opposed to the
Shit like
last
that.
time we played Shadow Dance, or we played whatever, and